Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you folks doing? Welcome here. Welcome to a throwback live stream here today. My name is Konnan167, and we're watching WCW Bash at the Beach 1996. Holy moly, everybody. I'm ready to go with this one, and I hope you guys are as well. But without further ado, my friends, it is time for your Konnan Certified roll call. So who do we got in here today? We got Marco Jacobs. How you doing, my friend? We got J Money Jeff. We got Lucas Freeman up in here. We got Manuel Pacillo. How you doing? We got Cubs fan 16 in here. We got Trey Lucato. Samuel Vlogs. How you doing? Raul Capar. Good to see you. We got Shane the Gamer. King of Fate is in here. We got Monte Prince. Good to see you. We got Text-Based Wrestling Fan. How you doing? Ahmed Smiles. Good to have you. We got ourselves Jackson Blackheart. Stay strong, buddy. We're all behind you, man. You're gonna pull through it. I know you will. We got the Wacky Warrior in here. We got Sad Verk. Nice to see you, man. We got Seth Rollins. We got TJ So Cool. And I'm sure we got some other lovely individuals here in this live chat. Thank you guys for joining in. Great to see you. All right, everybody. If you don't know what we're watching here today, we are watching WCW Bash at the Beach 1996. And this is the infamous Hogan heel turn. This is how the brand that was known as WCW rose up through the rankings, dominated the Monday Night Wars, and ended up actually beating Monday Night Raw for quite a few weeks in a row. So this was the catalyst. This was the start of WCW taking over the wrestling world for a solid 2 years or something like that. Absolutely an incredibly important event in the grand scheme of things, and we're going to be watching that here today. So if you guys would like to sync up your time, it will be on the screen. You will be able to see it in live time where we're at. And that's pretty much to the extent of it. So if you do not have WCW Bash at the Beach pulled up on your screens yet, I'm going to give you just another few seconds to do so, whether it through the Peacock Network or the WWE Network. Just pull it up on your screens and try to sync it with the times. Fingers crossed that you guys, if you are watching on Peacock, that you will be able to sync it up and fast forward and catch up with where you need to, because I know some people have been having issues with that. All right, my friends, here we go. Let's watch WCW Bash at the Beach. We're going to hit play here together in 3, 2, 1, go. Cool. Think we should be good. All synced up, I believe so. All right. Let's do this thing. So, I've been watching, guys, quite a little bit of WCW over the last, I want to say, few months. And when I say quite a little bit, I mean, just some episodes here and there. But I've been building up to this pay-per-view. So, I've actually seen the build. I've seen exactly where Scott Hall came in. Then I saw where Kevin Nash came in. The Outsiders. I saw where they had to address, were they actually a part of WWE at the time? They said no, because the lawsuit that was going on. So I've watched this all the way up to this event now, and I'm very, very, very excited. I can feel the hype. It feels like I'm slightly a part of the crowd here tonight because, truly speaking, I watched the build. I've caught up on the build. I've seen every single one of those episodes from the debut of Scott Hall to this episode right here. And for me, that's really unique because I was 1 year old at this time when WCW Bash at the Beach was going on. I was 1 year old. I was not old at all. But we got Dusty Rhodes on commentary. We got Bobby the Brain Heenan and Tony Schiavone. Man, what a commentary trio. What a trio. But yeah, the third man. The third man. Raul's asking me, how's my 420 been so far? I mean, I've got to work, so nothing. I got 2 streams. I got this stream here tonight, and I got another stream tonight. So my 420 ain't too 420-ish. But, it is what it is here today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully you're having fun, and hopefully, your afternoon has been good so far. Obviously, it's only a Tuesday. Lots to go left in the week, but, yeah. Did I hear about Charlotte Flair being suspended indefinitely? I did. Being suspended indefinitely and a $100,000 fine for attacking the referees. I kind of like that. So the card for tonight, if you guys would like to know for this show, it's actually pretty interesting. Psychosis versus Rey Mysterio Jr. Who's that jumping up the sky? It's Rey Mysterio Jr. So Psychosis, Rey Mysterio Jr., that's going to go down. We got John Tenta, who is the former Earthquake, versus Big Bubba, who I believe is the former Big Boss Man. But I'm not exactly sure on that one. Let me take a look and see who Big Bubba is. Big Bubba. Yeah, Big Boss Man. Yeah, there we go. So, there's Psychosis on his way down to the ring. Then we got ourselves Diamond Dallas Page versus Jim Duggan. Ho! We got Nasty Boys versus the Public Enemy. So, Nasty Boys, that's going to be nasty. We got Dean Malenko versus Disco Inferno. Disco Inferno, man, or whatever that thing was that he did. Like, what the frick, Disco Inferno? For the WCW World Cruiserweight title. Then we got Steve McMichael versus Joe Gomez. We got Konnan versus Ric Flair for the WCW United States Heavyweight title. We got Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit versus Kevin Sullivan and the Giant. And then we got the Outsiders and the Third Man, who we don't know who it is. The big question, who's it going to be? Versus Lex Luger, Randy Savage, and Sting here tonight. Bash at the Beach 1996. Today's episode is also going to last 2 hours and 45 minutes, so I hope you guys are excited for that one. So it's going to be just shy of 3 hours here today. Well, let's do this thing. So I want to ask you guys, what's the best WCW pay-per-view of all time in your opinion? Because this is where I don't have any clue. And I want to ask the question so we can put it up here on the screen. So best WCW pay-per-views of all time. So what do you guys think? What's the best one? I'm going to list some out here from Google as Rey Mysterio and Psychosis start things off here at the start of the show. Should be a good match. So basically, the ones that they have listed here are Super Brawl 3. We have Great American Bash 1989. We have Wrestle War 92. We have Bash at the Beach 1996, which is this one. Super Brawl 2, all right. Chi-Town Rumble. Beach Blast 1992. Wrestle War 91. Slamboree 94. Great American Bash 1996. Great American Bash 1990. Man, did WCW have some really good pay-per-views before the, I guess it must have. I haven't really caught up on all those really old ones. Maybe those are things that we're going to have to watch in the future. Great American Bash 1990, Halloween Havoc 1997, Halloween Havoc 1996, Starrcade 1988, Spring Stampede 1999, Starrcade 1996, Halloween Havoc 1989, Spring Stampede 1994, Bash at the Beach 1994, Bash at the Beach 1997. So those are the 20 that they've got listed on this website. Mike Tenay on commentary is also interesting. So interesting. All right, let's get the poll going then. Asking you guys, what's the greatest WCW pay-per-view of all time? So greatest WCW pay-per-view of all time. That's the question. So it's either going to be Super Brawl 3. Okay, so Super Brawl 3. Gonna do Great American Bash. Or let's go Bash 1989. American Bash. Bash 1989. Okay, so Bash 1989. As Rey Mysterio and Psychosis slowly get to work on each other. Psychosis pushes Rey Mysterio down. This is a young Rey Mysterio, guys. This is an extremely young Rey Mysterio Jr. Oh, nice deep arm drag there from Rey. Leaps over top, ducks underneath, rolls through. Rey gets sidestepped there. Psychosis misses the moonsault. Oh, what a heel kick from Psychosis. And down goes Lil Rey. Oh my God. Oh, holy crap. Did you guys just see the way Psychosis hit his head off that steel bar? Ow. Damn. Yo, if you guys are watching along at home, you gotta see that one. My God, Psychosis hit his head so hard off the steel. Yikes. Wrestle War 92. Bash at the Beach 96. Bash at Beach 96. Okay, we got 4 options there. Let's go Chi-Town Rumble.
You know, Mike, Rey Mysterio proved that, and Brain, you'll agree with this, at the Great American Bash in Baltimore about 3 weeks ago.
Chi-Town. Beach Blast 92.
They're here to prove themselves to everybody. And he's got his work cut out for him with the Nature Boy Ric Flair still in this telecast the night of the attempt of a hostile takeover. Not knowing where
92. Okay. And we can get 2 more in here. Or 1 more in here. Slamboree 1994. What do you guys think? What is that, the best Slamboree? Or a Starcade? Should we do a Starcade or Spring Stampede? What do you guys think? Slamboree 1994.
The advent, as Tony mentioned, of the Cruiserweight title saw that WCW organizations
Throw that one up there.
best talent as he drops that leg while he had Rey Mysterio Jr.'s throat.
And I gotta let you guys know, I don't know. I haven't actually seen any of these, or not any of these. I haven't seen most of these pay-per-views that I'm saying. Slamboree 94, and then Starcade 97 is what some people are saying. Starcade 97. Or Starcade 96. What do you guys think? We got room for one more pay-per-view. The greatest WCW pay-per-view of all time. Psychosis goes to the cover, count of 2, kick out by Rey Mysterio.
I know that he fought back at all odds, but he had a lot of power in that clothesline there.
Power and size advantage for Psychosis. Rey Mysterio Jr. was raised in San Diego, California. He tells me that his idol as a youngster was Scott Steiner. Obviously one of the first moves that he perfected.
Starcade 97. All right, we'll go with it. We'll go with it then. Starcade 97.
You know, this Rey Mysterio Jr. he's a legend in San Diego. He's referred to a lot of places as the
Starcade 97. All right. So on this list, guys, let me know if there's one that really does not belong before we make it go public to you guys. So Super Brawl 3, American Bash 1989, Wrestle War 1992, Bash at the Beach 1996, Chi-Town Rumble, Beach Blast 92, Slamboree 94, or Starcade 97. Is there any ones that don't belong, and is there any ones that should be on this list that I am missing? Oh, nice kick right there from Psychosis. Lays down Mysterio. Oh my God! Psychosis sent right off the corner. Dang. Now, Ray. Oh, Hurricanrana. Down goes Psychosis. He bumped really hard. His feet hit the steel again. But welcome to the stream, everybody. If you haven't done so, please do make sure you leave a like on this video.
No question about it. That was as a high-risk maneuver as you'll find in this sport. And they're getting
all right.
to their feet. Isn't that amazing?
I think a lot of people have not said anything about the list, so let's put this list up on the screen. Here we go. To start that, 2 kick out there by Psychosis.
I'll tell you what, Iron Mike, he really nailed him. He didn't have him there. He's not going to get him. Whips him in.
Okay, Slamboree fits. Okay, so we just got to reduce the size of this just a little bit more. There we go. So get your guys' votes in there to the poll. It's available down there in the live chat. So say either, guys, whatever you would like to vote for. You can do either vote Brawl 3, vote Bash 1989, vote War 92, vote Beach 96, vote Chi-Town, vote Blast 92, vote Slamboree 94, vote Starcade 97. And of course, all of the voting commands are available in the live chat right now. You guys should be able to see it if you look for Streamlabs in the live chat. Should be able to know which one you are voting for. Hopefully, we will be able to get some pretty accurate stuff here. Ross says, can't really vote because I never watched these. I know, dude. It's difficult because I haven't watched them either, right? I don't really know too much about WCW, but that's what I'm hoping to expand our eyes to. I'm hoping that we can take a look at some older stuff. Like, this is 1996. Like, we're probably going to go back even further. We're going to touch some 80s stuff on this channel. We're gonna look all the way around it and figure out the history of wrestling. Like, I want to touch Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you know, Smoky Mountain Stampede. I want to get there. Smoky Mountain Stampede or Smoky Mountain Wrestling? Hang on, I feel like I'm messing something up there. Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and is it Smoky Mountain Stampede? Or what's that? Canadian Stampede. I think I'm combining two things. Stampede, or is that a show that they put on? No. No. Combining two things. Hey, Steve, how you doing, man? But yeah, all I got to say, guys, is I'm very, very excited to bring you these throwbacks. Nice reverse DDT there from Psychosis. And now Psychosis goes back after Lil Rey. Little Rey. Lifts him up over his head and then drops him down hard on the steel. Yo, Rey Mysterio hit hard. Are we really just gonna vote for Bash at the Beach 1996 for the greatest one because you guys have probably, that's like the only one we've seen? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what people are going to do? Are they seriously gonna call this the greatest WCW pay-per-view of all time? I have a tough time believing that. I believe it's got the greatest heel turn of all time, or at least it's got to be up there of one of the most important heel turns of all time. But is this the greatest WCW pay-per-view ever? I don't think so, right? There's got to be better. I hope. Right? I think. I've seen this one, I believe, once before. Maybe have I seen it once before? Or did I see part of it once before? I know I've seen the main event. Maybe I've seen parts of this show before. Maybe not in its entirety. But regardless, Psychosis throws Rey Mysterio back inside the ring. Hey, Jackson Blackheart, my man. Good to hear from you. I want you to stay strong, okay, buddy? I want you to stay strong. I want you to keep your head up, and I want you to keep moving forward with your life. You got people here who care about you. You got people in your life who care about you. I promise you that, okay, buddy? I'm not the best person to talk to in terms of being able to convey what the best things to do are, but if you need to run things by me, absolutely, man. I will try my best to get back to you if you are reaching out to me in some way, shape, or form. But my recommendation to you is to talk to a professional who is trained in helping you with your struggles that you got going on right now. So, my man, that's what I would recommend to you. You can obviously reach out to me if you would like. I am absolutely here for you, but just keep in mind that there's better people suited out there to deal with this and get you the answers that you're looking for. For sure, man. But absolutely, reach out if you would like to. Good positioning for the hammerlock. Straddles man, and notice how Mysterio tries to get up. Rey Mysterio going up and over. Psychosis. Ooh, deep head drag knocks him down. That was a nice move from Little Rey. Swinging through. Rey lands on his feet. Psychosis with a back elbow catches him. Rey Mysterio cartwheel. Uh-oh, up on the shoulders. Hey, what a hurricanrana. Roger Dodger, how you doing, buddy? Roger. Here comes Rey flying through the air. Drop kick to Psychosis. Now Rey Mysterio taking up to the sky. Rey gonna fly. Oh my God, what a hurricanrana. That was beautiful. That was really well done by Rey Mysterio. Who's that bumping up the sky? How close it was for Psychosis' forehead to hit the apron there, and that could have been fatal. We said that earlier. A move like that Didn't Chi-Town Rumble have that match between Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat? I believe so. Let me double check. Hey, Botch Guy, how you doing, man? You watching along with us here today? Good to see you, man. Have you ever watched through WCW? This is like a new thing for me. Like, I've been watching WCW television shows, Monday Nitro, for a little bit now. And I've watched since Scott Hall made his debut and then came in. I watched the previous pay-per-view, which I believe was Great American Bash. Can't remember exactly. But yeah, it's been really neat watching WCW a little bit. He just woke up a few ago. Just wanted to say hello. Oh, you little sneaky bug over there. Like, look at you. You came in, you say, what a maneuver. Make Konnan believe that you're watching along with us. Like, oh, dear God. I'm like, Botch Guy's watching. Cool. Oh, my God. Ray just almost broke his leg. Like, Botch Guy's watching along with us. Cool stuff, man. Cool. No. He's just lying. Well, let me tell you something. Botch Guy, you're no longer Botch Guy, all right? I'm going to give you a new nickname.
And his name is John C.
I don't know.
Now back in the ring goes Psychosis.
Wonder Mysterio could even stand. And he's pulling himself back in the ring. He has slowed down a lot. Yeah, he really has.
Rey Mysterio calling for the end, signaling for it. Oh, what a power bomb!
He caught him great.
What a power bomb from Psychosis. Deep cover 2, kick out by Lil Ray Ray. Oh, that's a little kick out right there if I've ever seen one.
On the part of Rey Mysterio Jr.
Trenton Pinkard over here. Thank you very much for the $1.70 donation, buddy. I hope you're well. Now, Psychosis, what is he doing? Oh, God, Ray.
Put him up in that shoulder breaker style move and then ran him stomach first, abdomen first, right across the top.
Thank you, Trenton.
The lower abdomen, I might add. And I tell you, a forearm.
Oh, Hangman flipping off Matt Jackson. Ooh. I can't wait till Hangman goes up against the Bucks in a major way. Like, they got to be building up Hangman to be the babyface to take out the Bucks and Kenny Omega, right? Like, that's... Oh, what a hurricanrana from Ray, and it's over. Like, they absolutely... The goal is to build up Hangman to be the guy who takes the title from Kenny Omega down the line, right? Right? Like, that's got to be the build over on AEW. But Ray wins, everybody. What a big match. What a big fight.
We'll never see again. Well,
These two men are going to be sore tomorrow morning and tonight. They're going to be sore for a long time. This was a tremendous...
I was listening to Busted Open Radio, and I believe it was Bully Ray who said that if the Young Bucks want to truly be heels, truly want to be hated, they can't just modify their attitude. They got to take away the super kicks. They got to take away the flashy moves. They got to take away everything that the fans like about the Young Bucks. Think about Kenny Omega. Everything about Kenny Omega, his demeanor, everything changed, and he got himself past the point where he was doing the stuff that got him over and made him liked by the fans, and he moved past it and he said, we're doing new stuff. We're doing something brand new, and we're going to try to get over as a new heel character. That's what the Young Bucks, if they truly want to be over as heels, are going to have to do. The reality of it is they're not going to give up the super kicks. They're not going to give up everything that made them famous. Not a chance. Here's Konnan. Konnan has been called the Hulk Hogan of Mexico before. The reason for it is because this guy, he sold out arenas all across Mexico, broke attendance records all across Mexico. Konnan was popular as hell. What was your big plans for the day, Connie? Nothing. I'm working here. I've got this stream until whatever time we're done, and then I've got NXT tonight, so really nothing. Streaming, working. How about you, man? What do you got planned for today?
He's won that world title 13 times. Nobody else has done that, but tonight I'm overly cautious because everywhere he goes, he has an entourage. I haven't been here long enough to form an alliance. I haven't been here long enough to be afforded that luxury. But I'll tell you something, Ric Flair. If your manager gets in the match, I'll cripple him. If one of the women get into the match, I'll clothesline him. If that football player gets
Now,
into
I
the match,
didn't know that about with Konnan. Yeah, man. Konnan was a big draw in Mexico. Big draw. Think about taking a day off and going to the beach with my doggo. It's fun, man. Fun. Con Man's no days off over here except for the days that he actually has off. Got to keep that grind going. I can't stop, man. The moment I stop is the moment that I'm going to become too comfortable. The moment that I become too comfortable is going to be the moment I stop pushing. And Konnan needs to push because Konnan needs that dough. Konnan needs to be hearing the crowd go wild, and he needs to hear air sounds going all over the place. Like, yeah, Konnan wants to hear the big sirens for life. He wants to feel the growth. He wants to see the bright lights. Konnan wants to stay on that grind. You know what I mean? I can't stop, man. Otherwise, I'm out.
I have security watching the door there right now. So maybe that's something to do with Eric Bischoff or the third man. Something important is going on back there.
Who is Woody?
He works for me.
Woody works for you.
Yes.
All right, so we got something on a pole. Is this the title on a pole match?
To the ring post, the upper right side ring post. On top of that is a sack loaded.
Oh, no.
Now, there you see it.
Loaded with 1,000 silver dollars. Is that what's in that?
That is high.
Oh, here he comes. Here comes John Tenta, the guy he's still walking around with a half-shaved head. Now, if you guys want to know the story behind this, John Tenta faced off against Big Bubba, who is known as the Big Boss Man inside of W.
Because Tenta isn't aware that he's got to climb that pole.
That's exactly what the past 2 days were for there, or sorry, this past 2 days over the weekend were for there, Mr. Botch Guy, for myself at least. Those 2 days were well resting for myself. That was a weird way to phrase that. Let me try that again. Those 2 days really helped me rest up and got me going again for the grind. But here's the story with John Tenta. So basically, John Tenta was facing off against Big Bubba, and Big Bubba shaved half his head. Now, John Tenta could go home and shave the other half of his head, but he is leaving half of his head shaved in order to remind himself of what happened to him with the Big Boss Man, Big Bubba. Right, so that's the story here. Whether you like or hate the feud or whatever, whether you like or hate these two individuals or whatever you believe, that's the story with this matchup, and that is why we got this going on. Yeah, mine too, Botch Guy. My voice is completely shot. It still isn't actually fully healed up yet. It's still a little tender in certain areas, but yeah.
Think about what we've seen with Psychosis and Rey Mysterio.
You met A-Train in Japan?
Two of the fastest and two of the
Cool.
biggest now.
Was like Hogan.
Head first.
Oh, yeah, because A-Train was huge in Japan, wasn't he? A-Train turned into Tense. What did they call Tensai? Hang on, one sec. What was his name over in Japan? Did they keep it as A-Train the entire time, or did they go Matt Bloom? I can't remember. Let's see. New Japan. So, 2006, Bloom left AJPW and joined the rival New Japan. Oh, so he went to All Japan Pro Wrestling. Oh, that's why he was such a big deal. So not only was he a part of New Japan, he was a part of All Japan before that. Okay. So, he defeated Yuji Nagata in the finals of the 2006 New Japan Cup. So, as a result of the victory, Bloom received a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. However, he unsuccessfully challenged Brock Lesnar. What? No, what? Holy crap. A-Train versus Brock Lesnar for the IWGP Heavyweight title during 2006. Damn, I didn't know that happened. Cool. At least you have a new career as a weatherman. Yeah, at least you got that, man. So, following the abdication, so Brock Lesnar released the title, okay? Bloom entered the tournament for the title, and he lost to Hiroshi Tanahashi in the tournament final. So, man, Matt Bloom was big. He was really big, wasn't he? So he won the tournament finals in the New Japan Cup, and then he got a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight title, unsuccessfully captured it, and then went to the finals of the next tournament and lost to Hiroshi Tanahashi. Bloom took part in the 2006 G1 Climax tournament, losing to Hiroshi Tenzan in the semifinals. Wow, and he made it to the semifinals there as well. Dude, I didn't realize how big Bloom was over in Japan. Okay, then he fell down to the tag team rankings. That makes sense. He is a great tag team wrestler. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Lux7, how you doing, buddy? Botch Guy says, what are some of the big things you have noticed differently after watching so many old pay-per-views compared to this era now? Hate to say it, okay? I really do hate to say it. But the matches that are put on were far more believable back in the day than they are now. And I think now is much more an athletic gymnastics type of feel where it's like, look what I can do with my body. Look how I can maneuver my body in different ways to make it look cool. Look what we can do athletically. And, well, I love that. I'm not taking anything around from it or away from it. I think the matches back in the day, from everything that I have seen, are far more believable because it is mostly just punches, kicks, elbows, rest holds, choke holds. Not a lot of high spots, but the high spots are that high spots. When they take those high spots, it's like, oh, that's a high spot right there. And so that's not to take anything away from the day and age of today's wrestling, because I really do enjoy today's wrestling. I think that today's wrestling is incredibly athletic and we get to see some cool stuff. But the problem is that, actually not the problem, but like why the Cruiserweight division in WCW took off was because it's the style that we see today. It was the beginning parts of that type of style. And that made those matches stand out back in the day, and that made the WCW Cruiserweight division must-see because that was the only place that you got that type of high-flying style, that high-octane offense, that throw caution to the wind type of stuff, right? And so they developed from that style that they found that they were getting lots of pops for every time they did a big high-impact move, a high-risk maneuver, or what have you. And basically, the fans started gravitating towards that style and started cheering towards the high-flying, high-risk style, the indie style, if you want to call it that, the Cruiserweight style, developed from WCW. And while it's so much fun to watch, the problem is that all those high spots get repeated over and over and over again, and as a result, we're not popping for a superplex. We're not popping for a Spanish fly off the top rope. I mean, maybe we are going to pop for it, but it's not the end of the match. It's not the climax. Those big moves don't feel as big as they used to back in the day. That's been my takeaway so far from watching old pay-per-views. I think each generation offers something very, very different. This generation is a lot slower. It's a lot more methodical paced. It's a lot more play and pander to the crowd to get the crowd to love/hate you. As opposed to now, it is a constant performance. You constantly are trying to pop the crowd with high moves, what have you. That's my takeaway from the old style of wrestling versus the new style of wrestling. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think that both have their flaws and both have their pros. All right, let's take a look at the chat here because that was a nice little rant. But now I see a lot of chat that we got to talk to. So here we go. I see Lux7 over here. He says, went and checked the house I'm wiring as a side job, and someone stole all the wire that was set up, gutted the whole inside of the house, so now it's way behind because I couldn't work, and now this. Luck, dude, please tell me that you're not on the hook for all the wire and all the stuff that's already been done. Please tell me that your company has some sort of fail-safe or something like that. Oh, dude, you do not deserve this, man. You don't deserve this. I'm so sorry you're going through such a tough time right now, Lux7. It always feels like when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? It always feels like when something goes wrong, it just keeps piling on. Dude, we're here for you, okay? I'm so sorry that you're going through that. That freaking sucks. Oh, Jimmy Hart's climbing the pole. Good Lord. Jimmy Hart. Now, this is something else. This pull on a match, or pull on a match. This match, this silver dollar on a pole match is different because that pole is so high up. And Jimmy Hart got the silver dollars. How you doing, Botch Guy, by the way? Uh-oh, John Tenta just shoved Jimmy Hart off the pole. Jimmy Hart hanging on for dear life. And down he went. Oh, no. Then John Tenta using the silver dollars across the face of Big Bubba. 3. Hey, Dylan Jenkins. Well, there you go, John Tenta. He wins. So he got his revenge. Now Tenta drops the coins right on him. Oh, and puts the silver dollars right over the eyes. Right over the eyes of Big Bubba. Well, well, well. Well, that's the second match, my friends. If you haven't done so, please make sure you leave a big like on this video. Also making sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you guys would really like to, you can always drop a little super chat donation. Doesn't matter how much or how little. Any little bit is appreciated, but obviously not required. Oh my God. John Tenta just smoked Big Bubba.
The winner is John Tenta. Big John Tenta deserved every ounce of that one. Wins it. Jimmy Hart, the man, of course, as you saw, climbing the pole and helping with those silver dollars. All right, fans, we have standing by.
So you are gonna have to relocate, man. I thought I saw your video last night was still in the same place, so I wasn't sure if you actually had to move out or not. Damn, dude. Hey, it'll get better though. I promise you, right? It'll get better. By the way, Con, haven't said this in a while. December to Dismember. I hear you, man. I hear you. Damn, so like do people know? I don't want to speak out loud here. Like, do people know about the situation right now? Because I don't want to really talk about something that's not in my position to talk about, obviously.
We need to find out, and sooner or later, we got to find out. They got to deal their hands.
I've asked everybody. I've asked people that don't even know anything about wrestling.
Bobby the Brain Heenan, guys. He's been my favorite thing about watching old school stuff. By far. Bobby the Brain Heenan has been my favorite thing about watching old school stuff. All right, what's the next match? Oh, we got the people with face paint on.
Coming up tonight, a match that many have labeled as a hostile takeover match. These outsiders are going to have a third man joining them. They're going to be facing the Macho Man, Randy Savage, former tag team champions. They've held numerous titles. Of course, the current reigning WCW.
Once again, guys, make sure you vote for what you think is the greatest WCW pay-per-view of all time. The list is available here in the live chat right now.
Who do you think their third man is going to be?
You know what? I don't care. I know it's
You know what? I don't care. Freaking Macho Man.
because he's gonna get hurt just like those other guys are gonna get hurt. This is equal opportunity, equal war type situation. We're gonna take him out.
Can I also say, Macho Man turning his back to the camera is one of the coolest things about his promo style. Like, there's something just so unique about Macho Man. Turning his back to the camera. Oh, yeah. And now let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Oh, yeah. Like, just, it's so good. Not mine to talk about until I hear about it, if it's good or not. Not my thing to talk about.
Make the point. What is it?
Thrown announcers through stages. You've talked real loud, but now actions speak louder than words. Isn't that right, Stinger?
You know what the unknown does, Mean Gene?
Sting really did have charisma as well.
The unknown makes me a nervous wreck. The unknown puts chills right up and down my spine.
I like that.
Gotcha, Botch Guy. Okay, man. I won't add to it then.
All over my body. And you know something? It does a
Feels like it, but one thing I want to say is one thing that I said earlier to Jackson, I believe it was, who was here in the live chat, who's been going through a bit of a tough time as well right now. No matter what ends up happening in life, things will compound on it if we do not reroute our mindset. If we do not find a way to take any positives from it, right? I'm not saying that my situation is at all what your situation was, right? It's completely different, and I feel so crappy that you're going through what you're going through. So sympathy out there for sure, man. I hope things do improve. But let me put this into perspective. So when this situation here when I was forced to, not forced, but basically needed to find a place like immediately within like a few days and had to find a place to move. That's the situation that's coming up, and I'm moving on May 1st. So that whole situation, I didn't want to leave this place. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to have to pack everything up, and I didn't want to have to leave like the background. I didn't want to have to do any of that. It wasn't in my intentions, but I kind of had to. Life threw me a curveball, and I needed to go in that direction. Need to take care of it. So I was certainly down for like a day or two. Was really down. Was not happy. Was quite upset. Was quite worried, anxious, whatever you want to say. Was not going through a great time up here. But the moment that I rerouted my mindset, when I started trying to look at, as silly as it sounds, the silver lining of the situation, I found so many good things that were going to come out of it. And I'm just, rerouting your mindset is so very, very important, my man. If you're able to do that, absolutely try to reroute your mindset to look at any positives that do come of it. You got yourself a little bit of maybe a mini vacation coming up. Maybe that'll be good, right? Maybe that'll be really good for the mental health. Maybe that'll be good for you and your family. I don't know. I don't know. Just literally, just anything to reroute your mindset, man. If you can, I'm here for you, though. Always, of course, man.
And he comes from a long line of punchers, don't he?
Yes, he does.
His grandmother was punchy. His grandfather was punchy. Whole family's punchy.
They were punchers, not punchy.
I tell you what, he'll drive you to being punchy.
Boy, you're not kidding.
And you know what? Have you heard of the?
Right here.
I don't know if this is a great direction to go in. Actually, I was gonna say, have you heard of the calm before the storm? And that's not what you want to hear right now, because this ain't calm right now. But I think you're going through the storm, buddy. I think you've been through the calm, and I think you're through the storm right now. And the nice part about once the storm is over, sunshine, right? Blue skies, positivity. There will be good things that come out of this in some way, shape, or form. Marco Jacobs says, "Con, chill." Was I unchill? At any point, did I get unchill? If I did, well, suck on.
People are tailgating on boats. They must have turned away 10,000 people outside today.
They turned them away. I mean, there was a line when I got.
How you doing? Everything good? Yeah, honestly, man. Everything, I'm doing good right now.
Dallas is the man who accuses Hacksaw of stealing that ring.
Well, he went into his drawers there and got something out.
I think he got the tape out. He's going to tape his legs together around the ring post.
Well, he's taping his feet.
You know it, Steve Taylor. Oh, wait, hang on. Diamond's Dallas page here. He's taping the feet of Jim Duggan. This ain't good for Jim. Jimmy Boy's gonna be in a little bit of trouble here.
Safe distance, Dream. You got to hear what he says about you when we're not on the
I always sang praises of the man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
On the jaw, on the chin. There you
Here
see
for you,
the
buddy.
trick.
Here for you, and I'm glad to hear that you're trying to take things on a positive light if you can. It's never easy, but it's a good thing to try to come back to, right? That's another thing that I think people forget. You're allowed to feel upset. You're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to not like the situation you're in. Absolutely. It's how we react to the situations, how we react to the hands that were dealt, right? How do we pick ourselves back up? Do we just admit defeat? Do we crawl into our hole and crawl into our own sense of defeat? And God, I don't even know. Do you just basically start a victim mentality, right? Like that is what happens with people. And I don't believe you're that person. I definitely do not. And I think you're such a strong individual there, Botch Guy, that you're going to pull through on the other side. And you don't have that victim mentality, which I love to see, right? So you're going to find the way out of it. You're going to find the positive light, no doubt about it. And that's just with everything, right? Once again, we go back to the rerouting our mindset. And if we can reroute our mindset, look on the positive way of stuff, it's game over. We win life. Oh, DDP sent right there into the barricade.
He took millions of dollars from her, and now
That's exactly right.
you know, and now he's got this benefactor.
Interesting, Primitive.
But the thing that he needs to worry about in the next 30 seconds is how to keep Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I should do a TED Talk? God, man, I'm... No. No. No, I'm just some dude on the internet, man. Hey, Michael Wade, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, nice suplex delivered there to Diamond Dallas Page, and down he goes. Paul Carpenter says you're good and what you said was real. It was real, man. I truly believe that. It's difficult to always look on the positive. It certainly is, and you're allowed to feel pain. You're allowed to be upset, but then you got to get yourself back on that horse, right? Absolutely. Ryan LaFave says 10 days, Con. You must be hype. Is that how many days it is until I move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Freaking is. Holy crap. Oh, 10 days. Ah! Good God, guys. 10 days till I move. How am I going to finish packing up? Oh, my God. So basically, guys, I'm going to have to keep this room together here. I mean, I can start taking down this stuff over here. I think actually I'm going to get on this maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But I got to take all this stuff down, all the soundproofing, all this stuff across the back here. Got to take out the floor. Got to do everything. And I'm going to have to do that literally on the last day before we move because I got to stream during the day on Friday. We got a Minecraft stream. So, good God.
You're good and what you said was real.
Since you're taking Thursday off, you can do a lot of work that day. Oh my God, I do have Thursday off. I got the next 2 Thursdays off. Oh, Con Man's really happy now. I just forgot about that. I haven't had a Thursday off. God, when was the last time I took a Thursday off? I don't think I have taken a Thursday off since Christmas. And that was because I took time off for Christmas. I don't think I've had a Thursday off. A legitimate just one single Thursday off since I've started the CMU on Thursdays. Since I made the switch from Monday to Wednesday. And then I put it on Wednesday. And then I made the switch to Thursdays. I legitimately do not believe I've missed one. DDP wins. Wait, Jim Duggan taping up his fist. Jim Duggan. Oh, there's a punch to the face of DDP. You're so curious about how the background is going to look. I am too, man. I'm curious how it's going to look as well. I've got some stuff.
Look at that, those eyes are rolling the back of his head there. He's not sure where
I've got these LED strips that I'm going to try to figure out a way to put on the background. I don't know if it's going to work the way that I want to, but I do know that we're going to have some LED strips in the background to kind of give us a similar feel to like how this lights up over here. I'd like something to light up the background in some way, shape, or form. So we've got some LED strips here. They're still in the package. I don't know how they truly work. So we're going to try to deck out our background that way. And what else do I have? I got a new desk. That's the thing that I'm really excited about is the new desk and how I'm going to set up the room in that way. But oh God, here's Kevin Sullivan. I don't know much about Kevin Sullivan, but the guy never seems to remember a single promo.
Things don't look real good for you personally. I don't think they're going to let this guy even get in the ring. They're going to double team you if they get a shot.
They're going to double team me. They can bring all 4 horsemen out. Let me tell you something. This is home court advantage, and there's something burning in my gut. You think I'm the weak link? Well, ask the Giant, and he'll tell you exactly what I am.
Giant, be honest with us. Do you consider the Taskmaster the weak link in the Dungeon of Doom?
I never, and once in my life, would ever consider the Taskmaster as a weak link. He is the backbone of the Dungeon of Doom. He is the one that brought the Giant to WCW to reclaim my birthright and put an end to all that Hulkamania stuff. And you talk about the Horsemen. the elite, this, that, and the other. They're not the elite. I am the world heavyweight.
No, I didn't, Ryan.
I always will be. I am the elite. You come after the Taskmaster. You come after Kevin.
I'm the most confused con man on earth, Botch guy? What did I get confused about?
Looks like we're going to have some horse stew later.
All right, they are thoroughbreds. Make no mistake about that, Jimmy Hart.
The best of the horsemen go against the best of the dungeon. We'll see who wins.
Can you do me a favor? I don't want to offend you, but would you brush your teeth? Stop it with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Bash at the Beach.
Freaking Mean Gene and Jimmy Hart, their back and forth was always funny. Always been funny.
Take it away, Lee.
Thank you very much, Mean Gene. Standing here with two of the four horsemen, the Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit.
Oh, Chris Benoit, Arn Anderson, guys. Well, Charlotte is my queen, and I'm not happy about her suspension. Fair enough, buddy. Some people don't realize how being positive can change a person's perspective. Being nice to somebody really dictates a person's day entirely. That's why I always want to be as positive as possible. Here's something that I've noticed, man. For myself, I'm not sure if people here on this channel have noticed, but over the last year, I want to say, even maybe just extending a little bit past a year, I've been trapped inside, obviously, for a long time, as most people have. And I've been trapped inside with myself. Sure, I've got Becca, but I've been trapped inside with myself. Left to my thoughts a lot. Left to, trying to figure out who I am. And not having distractions in life. And so that leaves you to do a lot of self-reflecting. And over the last year, I've done a ton of self-reflecting on things about myself that I didn't like, things about myself that I needed to change, things about myself that I needed to take the steps forward to become the man that I believe I'm becoming. Lots of self-reflection over the past year. And the biggest thing for myself that I have found is how I start my day dictates how I am through the entire rest of my day. If I start my day off in a negative space, whether that be some bad news at the start of my day, like I got a text message about something I didn't like, or whether that be I spent all morning on social media, right? If I spent all morning on social media and then my mindset was negative because all you see is a bunch of people complaining about this and that on social media. People being rude to each other for no reason. People making fun of each other for no reason. And you're just like, it's a toxic mindset. So I had to tell myself how to get out of that negative way to start off my day. And the best thing that I've done, phone down. Start of the day, no phone. I wake up, my alarm is on my phone, slide off my alarm, okay? Maybe I'll check the stock market. I might check the stock market when I first wake up, or maybe not when I first wake up, but, like 10, 15 minutes after I wake up sort of deal. And other than that, my phone stays down for a little bit. I'm not right on it. I got to stay away because otherwise I'll open Twitter, I'll open Instagram, I'll open whatever and see negativity. And that's not what you need to see to start off your day. You need to start your day in a positive mindset. And if you can start that positive mindset, all of a sudden it's not draining. Getting out of bed is not draining. Getting to work is not draining because you haven't used that energy on needless stuff to start off the day, right? You haven't used that brain energy consuming negativity. Instead, you started your day. You had a great night's sleep. You woke up. You're moving around. You're taking a walk around the house and you're like, hey, now it's time to ruin my day onto my phone. I'm joking, but no, seriously, it's amazing what those 10, 15 minutes at the start of your day, people recommend an hour. I've been better off with 10, 15 minutes just because, that's really, that's logical, right? It's giving your brain time to wake up. You go to the bathroom in the morning, you brush your teeth, whatever, right? And you take care of yourself in the morning before you get onto that phone. And once you get onto that phone, you're going to get lost in it in some way, shape, or form. There's going to be something that is calling your name, something asking you to click on this or open this notification or reply to this person, right? But if you're able to start off your day in a positive mindset, if you got coffee, tea, I don't know what you start off your day with, orange juice maybe, go get that drink, sip on it. Sip on a little bit of that H2O even a little bit of water. Starting your day off with water before you get on your phone is so important to your mindset, so important to your mental health. And that's been one of the biggest things that I've found over the last year, just understanding my mental health a little better. Amity says, I start my day with soda. All right, man. Can I speak to you, Amity? Konnan enjoys his pop or soda or whatever you Americans want to call it. I enjoy my fizzy stuff. I enjoy my slurpy slurp. I enjoy my carbonated sugar water. You know what I mean? I enjoy my pop. And I always have. I used to drink a lot more. Like a lot more than I probably ever should have. I used to drink, do you guys know those like bottles of Coke? Like not like the small, like, 500 milliliters. I'm talking about like, the 700 and some odd milliliter ones. Like the double servings of Coke, the big bottles, right? Not the 2 liters, but the 710, like, in between. Konnan used to drink, literally, guys, it was not an exaggeration, 1 of those a day for sure. Sometimes 2. It was getting really bad, and this is when I was at my heaviest. This is when Konnan was really quite chunky. When Konnan was this weight, I'll try to pull it up for you guys, okay? When Konnan was chunky like this. Where you at? There we go. This is my chunkiest I've ever been, okay, guys? Chunkiest I have ever been. I was just shy of 200 there, and I know some people might be saying 200, Konnan, you're just whatever, but like for me, that's just not the way my body's always been. I've always been a skinny little bitty, and so basically, Konnan was quite chunky at this stage. Take a look at that. That's the face right there. That's Konnan's in a large shirt. Like this is Konnan at his biggest, and he's not that chunky truly, but he's got those cheeks, right? Those cheeks are basically telling you all you need to know. I had some weight on me, and that was from basically me drinking a lot of pop. And one of the biggest things that I cut away was the amount of pop that I consumed. Now, granted, Konnan literally had Harvey's for today, and I've got a pop sitting next to me right now. So like, just I'm not perfect, okay? But like, taking those steps that you need to, in order to realize what are you doing to yourself. It affects not only your how you feel, but it affects your productivity as well. Best thing for me was Get Truly, because like not only was I do I drink a lot of pop, right? Not as much now as I used to, but used to drink a lot more. But I also used to drink a lot of those energy drinks on stream, right, guys? Remember how often Konnan would have a Monster Energy on his live stream? Literally every day. Every day. Every time I was live, every Monday Night Raw, every SmackDown, every NXT, Konnan was sipping on those energy drinks, right? They were not good for me. Oh, they were not good for me. God, no wonder I was so jittery all the time. No wonder I was always just so on the edge in my seat, like go, gotta get content, go. And then why I was so tired, like all the time. That's why. Taking that out of my life, taking those energy drinks, since I started drinking peppermint tea, I have not needed a single energy drink. I have not sipped on one single one since I've left the Monster Energy drinks and exchanged it out for peppermint tea. Literally, not a single one. And sure, there's some days where I'm like, oh man, I could use a little caffeine boost. But, oh my god, what are the nasty boys doing, guys? They're just smacking each other with surfboards and chairs and, oh my god, everything. But yeah, it was just not good for me, right? It really was not good for me. Realizing that, I think I cut energy drinks out of my life in November of 2020. I think I cut them out at that point. I was not liking the direction I was going in. I was not liking where my mental health was at. I was not liking my productivity. I wasn't liking anything about it. And I was literally looking at my life saying, what is wrong? Why am I acting this way? Why am I so... God, irritable maybe is a good word. I don't know. And it was because I was drinking so much energy drinks all the time. Getting away from that, limiting the amount of pop that I drink, those two things, those two minor lifestyle changes that are not hard to truly change. You just got to drink more water. Those 2 lifestyle changes have been magnificent for me, magnificent for up here, magnificent for the channel. I'm proud of the stuff I'm producing right now. Truly, truly, truly proud. And it just comes, it takes a while. I legit almost spit my Coke Zero out after that Harvey's joke. I mean, I'm not perfect, man. But all we gotta do is take things in stride, realize what we're doing, and if we can address the reasons why we're not feeling good, and figure out what is causing it, then man, we're laughing, right? And it's that's all it's been over the last year. Just taking a big look at myself and figuring out, what I liked about what I was doing, what I didn't like about what I was doing, what I liked about myself, what I didn't like about myself, and what I felt like I needed to change in order to take the next step. For me, the true turning point was when I turned 25. For me, it was like what did I say? I literally was just on something. Hang on. Take the next step. What I was kind of a big look at myself and figuring out, what I liked about what I was doing, what I didn't like about what I was doing, what I liked about myself, what I didn't like about myself, and what I felt like I needed to change in order to take the next step. There we go. That's what it was I was talking about. Sorry, I couldn't remember what I needed to take the next step for. And so basically for me, I was looking at myself saying, I'm turning 25. I'm turning 25. And for me, I kind of had a little bit of life set up, if you will. I mean, whether it was fair to myself or not, my parents, when my mom was 26 and my dad was 25, they had me. And, or did they get married? They had me when they were 27. That's what it was. Mom was 27, dad was 26. But they got married at 25 and 26, right? And so, for me, that was always there growing up, where I was like, okay, by the time you're 25, you should have pretty much your life figured out. You should figure out, the type of person you are, the type of person you want to be. Whether that was fair to put on myself or not, I don't know. But I put it on myself. And 25 rolled around, and I still wasn't that person I wanted to be. I still don't think I was that person that I needed to be. And whether I realized it or not, there's a lot of things that needed to change about myself in order to take those next steps. I thought I was this person, who was just being nice is enough to get by, but you gotta follow through. You gotta be a good person. You also gotta care. You gotta pay attention. You literally everything you can imagine about life that gets you through it. Konnan was really kind of doing the opposite for a while, and then it took a while to figure out, hey, I need to take these steps. I need to get out of my hole. I need to get out of my own way, if you will. I'm the only one holding myself back. At least I was. And now it's almost like Konnan is ready to take those changes, take those next steps to make those changes, I should say. I want to be a dad someday. I do. So I want to be around for that kiddo down the line. I've got plans in life. And so I want to be around here, basically. So I needed to take those steps over the last year. And that's where I'm at now, guys. But yeah, rambling aside, holy crap, we've been talking about this for like 20 minutes. Here we go. The Nasty Boys and, what's their name? Public Enemy are going to work. And they've got chains on right here, it looks like it. Yeah, this is going to be a little more on the vicious side of style stuff. No ramble more. Oh, you want me to ramble more? All right.
And his name is John C.
Two of them in the ring and the other two outside. Another table? Yeah, this one I don't know where they got from. It's a two-table night.
Oh, the prongs are sticking out the leg.
Whoa. All right, we're good. We're good.
The table. All four men have finally made it back.
Well, I know what's going to try to happen here. I think Public Enemy going to try to get him in a position here.
All right.
To lay them out.
So I think this is Public Enemy here. Yeah, Public Enemy looks like they're trying to put away the Nasty Boys. I legitimately don't know who's going to win this match. The chain right around one half of the Nasty Boys. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Public Enemy taken off the table. Oh, no. He just bounced off the table. He didn't go through. Oh, he did not go through. That table didn't break. Raul Kapar says, Con, what am I doing for dinner today? We're going to do, I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen these, but in the grocery store, they've got these pre-made chickens, basically, that are breaded, and inside the chicken, there is Swiss cheese and ham. And they're made by President's Choice, blue maple or something like that. I can't remember. It's basically chicken, ham, and cheese. So we're going to throw a couple of those in the oven here tonight. Then we're going to cook up some carrots and some mashed potatoes. So it's going to be a decent dinner, just a really easy one. We're trying to finish up all of our freezer stuff right now before we move, because we obviously don't want to have to take all the freezer stuff with us. So we're going through our freezer and digging through and saying, okay, what can we make a meal out of these days? And that's the little chicken and cheeses that we're making a meal out of tonight. So nothing too exciting, but it's probably going to be good.
Now, you may wonder who the legal man is. The answer is they're all illegal. Texas Tornado.
Yeah, but it don't matter. They all chain together. You're right. See, legal is they just got to, somebody got to.
Nice. Enjoy your chicken curry there, Raul Kapar. I'm not a big fan of curry. I have tried it. Not a big fan of it. But, granted, I've only tried it twice, I believe.
That hurt Sags as much as it hurt Rocco Rock.
Oh, my God. Now the Nasty Boys trying to choke him out. Good God, with the chain choking that dude out. Ugh. Oh, and then a clothesline. Ow! Oh. It's over. Nasty Boys win. Moon Pirate is the first crypto token that is in collaboration with California Distillery to release a line of rum. Man, interesting. The future is going to be something else, isn't it, guys? Did I just hear you say that you don't like curry? Like even the mildest curry? Like I said, man, I've only tried curry twice in my life. Both times I didn't like it. So I don't know what other types of curry. You know, obviously I'm sure there's different ways to try to make curry, and there's probably different ways with different seasonings and all that, for sure. I've just only tried it twice, and so far I haven't liked it.
I'd go get me a cinder block. I'd go to the locker room and say, forget this. There'll be another day.
Oh, somebody went through a table. All good, Raul.
The table broke.
All good, buddy. But make sure you guys do leave a like on this video if you haven't done so. I'd love to see it crack. Crack at least 100 likes here tonight.
The Nasty Boys win the match. The fight is not over with Public Enemy and the Nasty Boys here at WCW.
So it looks like Public Enemy is going to leave the Nasty Boys put through a table after the Nasty Boys picked up the win. Man, that table that didn't break, that looked like that hurt. Ow.
That 25 pounds of chain.
And then smacks him with the chain, and it was over. So, still to come here today, there's still some matches that I'm really, really quite interested in. So far, the Psychosis Rey Mysterio match, I knew that one was going to be good. And now we're in what's called the filler of WCW. The John Tenta versus Big Bubba, Diamond Dallas Page versus Jim Duggan, Nasty Boys versus Public Enemy. That's the filler stuff. Now we're getting on to some more meaningful matches. So up next, guys, we have Dean Malenko versus Disco Inferno for the Cruiserweight title. That one, I don't know too much about Disco Inferno's wrestling ability. I know he's been around for a long time, and he was one of the original, like, heel put out there just for heat to be annoying type of people. He was definitely one of the original ones in sports entertainment, but Dean Malenko is incredibly versatile in the ring, so this should be a pretty good match. We have Steve McMichael versus Joe Gomez. I know Steve McMichael was supposed to be one of the big guys built up with WCW upon coming into the company, so I don't really know much about that one. But then we got Konnan versus Ric Flair for the U.S. heavyweight title. That's going to be good. And we got ourselves Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit versus Kevin Sullivan and the Giant. That's probably going to be good. And then we have, of course, the main event here tonight, the Outsiders. So Kevin Nash and Scott Hall versus Lex Luger, Randy Savage, and Sting, but they've got a mystery third man. I wonder who the third man's going to be. You'll have to excuse me, but is this your first time watching this era? No need to be excused whatsoever, my friend. Kind of. So within the last year, I've just sort of started expanding with the pandemic and everything. I've had a lot of time on my hands to expand in the world of wrestling. And for me, I started watching at WrestleMania 1 and started watching through at that point and got really into it. So I was like, okay, this is worthwhile expanding my knowledge on. So I got into WCW a little bit. I wanted to watch the TV episodes along with the pay-per-views, but I wanted to watch the pay-per-views here on this channel. And so what I've been doing is I've been watching Monday Nitro. And I started watching from when Scott Hall came in, and obviously we're now at Bash at the Beach, which is why we're watching this here today. So this is the heel turn heard around the world with Hulk Hogan, and I want to experience it live with everybody here. So yeah, I would say that this is... Yeah, you could say this is my first time watching through this era. Yeah, you can say it's my first time watching through the era. I've seen bits and pieces here and there. I've definitely seen a lot of documentaries, which has helped verse me in the knowledge of the business. But in terms of actually watching through, no, this would be my first time watching through the older generations, I guess you can say. Great question, though. And the thing that I love about wrestling is that there's so much out there. There's so much to consume that me at only 25 years old here, I've got a lot ahead of me. And I just can't wait to learn more about this business. I've been gaining a deeper sense of appreciation for the business and where it's come from to where it is today now. I've got a lot to go, though. I want to catch up on some New Japan stuff in the future because I don't have much New Japan knowledge either. And then I want to go back to Smoky Mountain as well. I think that would be really interesting to look into, is Smoky Mountain wrestling. What's Smoky Mountain? That's 70s, right?
Oh, you should see Rosie. Can she dance and Conchetta?
Oh, it's in the 90s? What? What? I thought it was older. Okay, never mind. What? Smoky Mountain's in the 90s? I did not know that. I thought it was much older. What's the old one then? What's the really old one? What the frig? I did not know that. Well then, holy moly. I definitely want to see this now. I thought it was 70s stuff. So what's the 70s companies? Wrestling, because that would take me back to the territory days, right? In the 70s? Southpaw? South Regional? Or is that the thing that WWE made fun of? Hang on, that might be the thing WWE was doing on the network for a sec with like, no, I don't think I know what I'm talking about there. Let's check out the NWA. Cornette's promotion. There's some good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. The Al Snow versus Marty Jannetty match still stands up to this day. I'll definitely check that one out then. So the NWA... so yeah, they would have ran through the 70s, obviously. But what was some of the biggest promotions? Georgia Championship Wrestling. That makes sense. Who was that just subscribed? Tamia, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. So the WWWF. Okay, so that was in the NWA in 1971. So that was with... Okay, so after Bruno Sammartino left the promotion. Gotcha. Interesting. So that would have been... So pro wrestling popularity... Interesting. It declined at the start of the 70s. Seems like wrestling goes through every 20 years a low period. Okay. So the big people of that era would have been Harley Race, Dory Funk Jr., Terry Funk, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes. Okay. Neat.
called "You Can Ring My Bell," and I think he just did.
He must have extra
Dope.
moves in that hand.
Dope. Yeah, I'm just so fascinated with wrestling history now. I do not know that much about it, and I just want to learn more and more about it. Like, do you guys know if there's any YouTube channels right now that are really good at covering the history of the wrestling business? And I'm not just talking about, you know, like WCW. I'm talking about the actual history of the wrestling business. Is there any channels that you guys watch right now? I'm really curious and looking up some more. Yeah, 20-year cycle is roughly about right. It seems like it almost takes, like, so 20 years, you get the stars that come in, right, with the previous stars and the stars that haven't retired yet of the generation before. Those stars come in, they take over from the new stars, or sorry, they take over from the old stars and become the new stars of the promotion. But then those stars aren't truly over yet. They're just kind of there. They're a part of the company. And then you get the next wave of superstars that come in up against those guys, and that's when you create the magic. And that seems like that takes every 20-year period to be able to create that magic. But that leads me to beg the question, what's that magic that can be created inside of WWE right now if the 20-year cycle is accurate? Because the 20-year cycle right now means that we should be coming up on a new generation within the next 5 years. I mean, you got to think the Ruthless Aggression era, that took a little bit to build up at the start as well. But even then, they had stars come in right away, but they took out the stars of the Attitude Era. So you got to think that we're coming up on the next generation of megastars coming through. And I wonder who they are. Is it AEW? I don't think so, but maybe. Maybe it is AEW that has the future stars of the business. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know here in the live chat. Original wrestling documentaries. They talk a lot about wrestling territories of the past. Thank you. I'm going to look into that. Uh-oh, everybody. Alabama Jones. And are you guys ready for the cringiest song on the internet? I hope you are. We're going to even throw in some auto-tune for that. So ready, everybody, for the cringiest song ever. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Sweet knees are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Woo! There we go. Little bit of that auto-tune. I know you guys hate it now. I don't care. We're going to throw in a beat. Yeah. Ready? Kick it. Okay, we're done.
Now he's missing. This has got to be very traumatic for his family.
All right, we're done. We're done. Don't worry. Cringe Man 167 at its finest. But I want to go back up to that there from Michael. Yeah, it was
across his nose and his face.
Has Disco done anything yet?
Nothing yet. He danced when it comes.
What did Michael say? He said original wrestling documentaries.
Head first, he goes to the turnbuckle. The man of 1,000 holds, Malenko. Up. Over the
Cool.
top, slides.
And then following it up there was EVE saying, the cycle is generally linked to technology too and how people digest what they're watching. Fair point. Fair point. Yeah, with the evolution of Twitter and all that. I actually want to hear something from somebody in the wrestling business. EVE, what's your thoughts on social media with wrestling? What's your thoughts on it? Because without pushing my thoughts on you or anything like that, I truly believe that social media should be two separate things. They should have a character page and they should have the individual page, because right now it's getting too crossed over with real people, real thoughts, that they can't get their characters over anymore. When they tweet out stuff in character, it's really good, but then it's mirrored with a whole bunch of other stuff about their personal life that the fans don't necessarily care about when it comes to the character. And I think that if we're going to get ourselves back to having exclusive characters and, you know, unique characters that don't feel super accessible to the public, I think that we need to create that little separation again. I think that they should have, like, let's use Becky Lynch, for example, a Rebecca Quinn Twitter and a Becky Lynch Twitter. Just my thoughts, but I want to hear from somebody in the business who actually maybe has a better understanding of how social media can influence matches. 2 kick out there by Dean Malenko. Which, by the way, Dean Malenko is fantastic. Every time I see Drew Gulak wrestle, I see Dean Malenko.
Sooner or later, you turn around and say, hey, that's right. If I got anything, I'm going to deal it tonight. And that's what we're doing here.
MJF might be the only person to not need 2 Twitter accounts. Isn't that because he still tweets out in character? He never veers away from his character on his Twitter? I'm pretty sure, right? He's always just an asshole on Twitter. Oh, and Disco Inferno sent right into the barrier.
And he could have done a lot better, we think. But look at the beating the man's taken. The moves he kicked out on and how he retaliated and still put up a heck of a fight for Dean Malenko.
Remember to beat Dean Malenko. You gotta
Brang B says, hey, bro, I'm back. Well, welcome back, my man. Let me just get you a little air horn for coming back. There we go. Man, Dean Malenko, though. Oh, look at the stretch here. How am I feeling today, Ghostface? I'm feeling pretty good, buddy. I'm sorry that you're not feeling too good. But yeah, I'm doing fairly well, actually. Do I think there will ever be another character like Brody Lee? Tough to say. Let me get back to that, okay? Yeah, I agree, says EVE. This is a multi-post reply, so apologies. The issue is wrestling has a habit of attracting young, insecure people, as it's a world where you can pretend to be the person you wish you were. Okay, we're waiting for the next part. I'm interested to see where you go with this.
We are at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach. Of course, everyone watching this match, we've had some tremendous wrestling. Later on in this telecast, it's the one that fans have been writing about, have been talking about, anticipating. Wrestling as we know it may change in about an hour.
You've been getting lots of sleep. Careful not to get too much sleep there, Ghostface. Too much sleep can also be just as bad. Try to aim for the 8 hours and hit that consistently. If you can, you'll be good.
Look at the determination of the Disco Inferno to get to the ropes. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort.
Set an alarm. Try to go to bed around the same time. Your body's going to love you for it. Even if that time is like 2 a.m. Like, I don't know what time you go to bed, but whatever time you go to bed, try to go to bed consistently and then try to wake up consistently. And if you can do that, you're going to feel a lot better. But Dean Malenko working Disco Inferno right now. Do I think we'll ever see a character like the Brody Lee character again? He's a big man who could move, and he connected with the fans in a way. Here's the thing that I want to remind people, and I hate talking about a character who we all loved so much as a person, right? Who happened to pass away too early in life. Brody Lee beforehand was definitely a character that we all were drawn to, that we cared about. Brody Lee was not pushing the boundaries the way that I think a lot of people remember him as. I think the guy was incredibly gifted, a big man who could work his ass off and was a wonderful human being. It's unfortunate, but he wasn't quite that main event slot at the moment, right? And it's tough to say, are we ever going to see another Brody Lee? Because probably not. He's probably the only one who will ever exist, a true Brody Lee. But another big man who can work and is athletic in the ring, who can talk, I would say we're probably going to see something like that again. And in fact, I'd say that we probably already have similar styles to that across the wrestling world. But for the ability to him to touch everybody in the ring, like, to touch them emotionally and to get across how good of a person he was and to be a locker room leader, that is the toughest thing to replace. And the individual, the person of Brody Lee, of John Huber, that will never be replaced. There's no doubt about that. So continuing on here with EVE, says, so a lot of people in the business aren't quite comfortable in acknowledging who they are all the time because it means giving up that facade that some people think is real. So what you end up with is a mashup that doesn't work, where people mix in who they are in 280 characters with what's a work, and that rightly confuses people and causes problems. Spot on, man. Spot on. Yeah. It's the constant confusion of, oh my god, I thought Disco Inferno just won. He didn't. You're right, it's that constant confusion for the fans. Who are we paying attention to? Is this character on TV that has the same name on Twitter a real person? Or are they the character on TV? And for me, I think, I truly do believe that at least at the top echelon, actually, let me read your part 4 here. So you need to be consistent. Either treat your 280 characters as a shoot, where you acknowledge you're an actor who does your own stunts, or you need a character account, or both. Oh, beautiful, beautiful suplex from Dean Malenko. And here's the submission move. Gorgeous submission move, cinched it in. It's over. Disco Inferno taps. Man, Dean is good. He's so good. He's so good. Dean flipping Malenko, man. What a wrestler. We'll see you later, Brang Bree. I think Jordan Grace does a great job on Twitter. I'd agree, actually. Jordan Grace, she does a great job on Twitter. She was one of the first people that opened my eyes. Her and Ethan Page opened my eyes to how Twitter could work. Ethan Page, I actually kind of know through the channel. Like, I don't know him personally, but a co-host we used to have on this channel, one of my better friends in life, his name was Bob, Brandon, whatever you want to call him. He's actually good friends with Ethan Page. He grew up with Ethan Page, sort of deal. So we have that connection through the channel, and I've been following his career for a while, and seeing him list himself being played by Julian on Twitter, right? That being kind of his gimmick, that it's played by Julian. He's a real person who plays the character Ethan Page, and he established that on Twitter. He established that in his social media, and I thought that he did a pretty good job with that as well, and it ended up getting him to AEW, which now, of course, he has to drop that whole gimmick and give up everything that truly got him to the big leagues and start over again. Here comes Joe Gomez. But yeah, fantastic take. I think you nailed it spot on the head. MJF is another unique Twitter account because MJF tweets in character all the time, does he not? Let me take a look.
And he was also a big football fan of the Chicago Bears and of Steve Mongo McMichael. He was very vocal when Steve McMichael turned his back on Kevin Green. And it wasn't too long ago on Nitro when McMichael paid him back by...
Oh, I just typed in MFJ. No wonder it's not popping up. MJF, there we go. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, or my jerk-off friend, as Jericho likes to call him. So I do not believe he ever tweets. All he does is retweet, right? Except for unless he's tweeting in character. Yeah, let's go down his actual tweets here, guys. So MJF says, I can assure you, you'll want to watch this interview, when it was an interview of The Pinnacle. Let me know when the touchy-feely YouTube guy fights Pillsbury Doughboy. So he's making fun of Jake Paul. Oh, no. He was making fun of Jake Paul and Ben Askren. And then MJF also tweeted out after that. He says, you workless sacks of shit. You had one job. Oh, my God. His Twitter is funny. Yeah, it's literally, there's nothing that he tweets out that isn't in story or isn't in character for him. It's a perfect use of his Twitter.
And he's healthy here now at WCW. That's a good point. Got out of football healthy. You can't spend as many years being an all-pro as Steve Mongo McMichael did and get out of the sport healthy. Yeah.
Again, MJF is consistent, so at least think you know where you stand, right? Well, MJF, is that his actual real name either? MJF. What's his real name? Yeah, it is. Okay, so Maxwell Jacob Friedman. So it is his real name. So the shortened form of MJF is the character. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is actually his real name. What a fantastic name for a wrestler. What a fantastic name for a wrestler, man. But yeah, you're right. He's consistent with it. I guess that's just the best way to be. So you can't be mixing in personal stuff if you're going to try to get a character truly over, right, on Twitter. You got to stay consistent with what your character would be saying, and then just, you know, leave your personal stuff to the side, I would say. And again, I am more so on the mindset that if wrestlers would like... Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me take this back even one step further. Let's say all of a sudden Batman opened up a Twitter account. I'm sure there actually is a Batman Twitter account, but let's say Batman opened a Twitter account, okay? And that Batman character is the Batman character imagine if all of a sudden, God, who played Batman? Batman actor? Let's say all of a sudden Ben Affleck, okay? Let's say Ben Affleck all of a sudden started tweeting out of the Batman account saying, whatever personal political stuff or whatever thought on whatever, right? They just said personal stuff from the actor of Ben Affleck through the Twitter account of Batman. People would be left confused. However, when Ben Affleck tweets from Ben Affleck's Twitter account, you're just like, okay, Ben Affleck's thoughts are right here. It's not Batman's thoughts.
After he mule kicked him in the groin.
That's what he did. Thank you, Dream. That's what he did.
Y'all went right on by that. That turned the tide here.
Thank you.
That was a kick.
Also loving Mr. Perfect and Dusty Rhodes on commentary.
And McMichael.
Also, Tony does a great job. I can see why people revered Tony back in the day. What a kick from Mike Michael.
3 points.
He says it's a field goal. So Steve McMichael, he turned into Mongo McMichael, right? Is that who he was? Steve Mongo McMichael?
Television program each and every Monday. Starting on September 4th, you used to bury him. And we've got it on tape. And we're going to play it.
Steve McMichael, Stephen Douglas Mongo McMichael. Yeah, that's him. Okay.
Yeah, he gets these words. Well, anyway, that's the brain. And Joe Gomez trying to get back to his feet. Double action.
I'm pretty sure on Twitter there is a Mongo McMichael dedicated Twitter account that just posts a bunch of botches from Steve McMichael. Was he known for being botch-ridden, guys?
And his trade, he can be lethal, as we talked about. Right now, he's just raw. He's just raw beating this guy up.
That's right.
And he's only going to get better being with the Horsemen. And he's only going to get better the more he's in that ring. He's only going to become more dangerous.
Let's keep this in mind. If you go back to the match he had with Kevin Green and his partner.
But still, to come tonight, we got ourselves Konnan versus Ric Flair. I'm excited to see that one. So I haven't actually seen any Konnan Prime Konnan, okay? Prime Konnan, when he was like selling out across Mexico. I haven't seen any of that. So I'm excited to see what Konnan does here inside of WCW. I know that his career continued to span after WCW. But let's see what his career was like. So Konnan, he started in, WCW. Then he went to the New World Order. Or he was in the New World Order. Then he joined Filthy Animals by the looks of it. Then he went to his independence again. Then he went to TNA. Then he went to AAA. Yeah. I'm not seeing it yet, EVE. Okay, so we're not quite there at Prime Konnan. So what year is Prime Konnan? I'm looking here on Wikipedia right now, trying to learn a little more about him. So Prime Konnan maybe was TNA. Was it TNA? Or was it AAA? Second return to AAA. Might be that.
Well, Joe Gomez is showing us a lot of fight. He knows the importance here at WCW, especially tonight with the drama.
Oh, I'm past? Holy shoot, really? Early career? Is that what it is? So is 1988 to 1996? That run? Really? Wow. So was he prime in his early career and then he just faded off? Damn, that's kind of unfortunate. All right. So early mid-90s. Gotcha. So, okay. Gotcha. So when he...
As a unit, turn it up a notch. And give our fans one of the hardest hitting pay-per-views we've had in a long time. A miss of an elbow that time.
Interesting.
Back to the attack again with a forearm shot.
So Konnan made his WWF debut on September 1st, 1992 in Hershey, Pennsylvania during a Superstars taping under the name The Comet Kid when he pinned Barry Horowitz. After 3 televised matches, Konnan abruptly left the WWF following a disagreement with Vince McMahon in '92. Konnan was not showing up for WWF events due to his rising fame in Mexico. Okay, interesting. And his supposed bad attitude developed heat from fellow WWF workers, and it led to a very strained relationship with McMahon, who invested heavily in the Max Moon character, both financially and creatively up at that point. Konnan was still working in Mexico, well under contract to WWF, and was also simultaneously appearing in Mexican television aimed at children called El Abuelo Yo. Don't know if that is how you pronounce that. I don't know Spanish. He says, as he was becoming more popular in Mexico, he was not focused on making it in America. Interesting. Konnan recollected, wrestling was so hot in Mexico, Mongo McMichael wins. Because they had lifted the 30-year ban on wrestling on TV. I didn't know that wrestling in Mexico was banned for 30 years on TV. Whoa, no wonder. No wonder it exploded. I was able to capitalize on that wrestling boom. Of course, yeah. Imagine wrestling being banned for 30 years on your TV and then coming back. Yeah, I can see why that exploded. The amount of work was incredible. It was like when Raw and Nitro were going head-to-head. There was work for everybody. There was also some locker room tensions over the costs associated with the costume, Konnan's perceived attitude, and Konnan also was missing tapings because he was more successful in Mexico and was not focusing on the WWF. In the end, the Max Moon character was given to Paul Diamond, who appeared as the character on the first episode of Monday Night Raw in '93. After a brief run, the character was abandoned. Okay, so then back in AAA, following the interference from Jake Roberts, Konnan lost a 2 out of 3 falls match, retirement match, by countout to Caras? I don't know that guy's name. Interesting. This is where he set the all-time attendance record for a Mexican wrestling event. Konnan did not comply with the stipulations of the match and returned to defeat Roberts in a hair versus hair match at Triple Mania 2 on May 27th in Tijuana. Damn, guys. After meeting Paul Heyman while wrestling on a wrestling tour of Singapore, Konnan joined ECW in 1995 and feuded with the Sandman. He appeared at ECW November to Remember on November 18th, 1995, squashing Jason Knight. He wrestled at an event promoted by ECW in the AAA in Chicago, Illinois. Then he went to WCW. Wow. All right, so from my understanding, that was his big run. The boom of Mexican wrestling when it came back to TV, that's where Konnan truly took off. Am I right with that? So Brandon Harmon says Konnan was a huge star. Cool. Konnan was a major star in Mexico. He got the name Konnan because how they perceived he looked like Konnan the Barbarian. You'll see his shape in WCW is not that. Gotcha. Man, I love these Tuesday streams. I'm getting so much wrestling history. I'm learning so much about this damn business. And that's been my biggest thing that I've learned for myself as well, is that you cannot gatekeep the wrestling industry. There is so much knowledge out there. There's so much information that it's impossible for everybody to know everything. So there's zero way you can gatekeep the wrestling industry. All these people now who say, oh, well, you don't know this person, you don't know this person, you don't know this person. Well, it's like, no, I don't. Tell me about them. Tell me why I should know about them. What's their history? What made them important? You know, that's the cool stuff with wrestling, and I wish more wrestling fans would have that type of mindset, like hockey or like football or like baseball, talking about the legends, talking about yesteryear, but when then people don't know about those people, we inform them. We tell them why this person was so great, why they set historic record after record.
Said it all, as they say in the beer commercial. My friend, not only said it all, done it all. Woo! Konnan! Grab your best hold, kid. Nature boy, coming your
I remember that Triple Mania 2 match, absolutely horrific. Jake was in no condition, which as someone who worked with Jake, damn, that is so sad, but Konnan was so loved it was nuclear heat. Man, like, you worked with Jake, eh? Can I just say something about Jake? I'm so proud of that guy that he turned his life around. I did not know what that guy had been through until I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Jake the Snake Roberts on it. That thing opened my eyes to the realness of what the professional world of wrestling can offer behind the scenes and the nastiness, the addiction that can come with being a wrestler and the wrestling business. Like, of course you're out there. You're performing in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of cheering fans, cheering your name. That has got to be the biggest high ever in this world. and then to leave that arena to go out to the real world and have to try to figure out how to live, especially when you had the issues that he had beforehand, when he had the unfortunate childhood that he did have. Seeing all that compound together was such an eye-opening podcast, listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Jake the Snake Roberts. So I'm so glad that that man turned his life around, because, God, that he was going down a scary path. Such an eye-opening experience. And the guy seems so nice. Like such a person that you're like, I want life experience from you. I want to hear you speak for hours and hours and hours. Just tell me about your life.
No question about it. In Konnan's eyes, this is his most important match. Earlier, moments ago,
The resurrection of Jake Roberts is worth the watch. I've watched that too. You know what? I actually watched that after the Joe Rogan podcast. Literally, I think I watched it in the same day. It was that incredible. Here comes Nature Boy! Woo! Ric Flair! Everybody, let's get 2 claps into Ric Flair. Woo!
Tremendous athlete here at WCW. As I said, Konnan facing maybe his sternest test ever defending U.S. title right here at Bash at the Beach. The drama builds.
Hey, EVE, do you have any big events coming up right now for your promotion? Or anything special coming up right now that we can direct the con man community's eyes to? I want to check you guys out a little bit more. I still got that. Do I still have that match written down? I do somewhere. I wrote it down around here somewhere. Still haven't checked it out yet. That's so accurate. Never truly thought about that with the pandemic there, EVE. That's actually the depression levels, or not even depression levels, but the sense of depression that must be across wrestling locker rooms right now must be massive. Maybe not right away. Maybe they're okay now. But definitely at the start. Yeah, truly didn't think about that.
This obstacle that he's getting ready to jump on right here, Konnan.
And I don't know if Ric Flair in his travels all over the world, if he's ever been in the ring with a man with the style of a Konnan. A man that can wrestle catch can, a man that can wrestle Greco-Roman, a guy that can wrestle the Spanish.
All right, here we go. Konnan versus Ric Flair. Ric Flair offering his handshake, and Konnan takes the handshake. All right. Nice show of sportsmanship here, and here we go.
That self-confidence, Konnan run away with you right there.
And Ric Flair backs up a little bit more. Got to make sure you check the hair, styling and profiling. Woo, woo, woo.
But when he is in there by himself, he is in his element.
Hey, Stranger Danger, how you doing, buddy? And just a kind reminder to all of you watching right now, if you have not done so, I want to ask you to make sure you leave a like on this video if you're enjoying what you see. If you've got any entertainment from watching me or watching the show or watching us together, make sure you drop that like. I mean, hey, if you don't like it, leave me a dislike.
Look at the sight of Konnan's head. He's had a blowout.
1 count. Immediately, woman is screaming. 1, 2.
Boy, she got a shriek too.
Oh, she's a shrieker.
She is stop a clock.
You're not kidding.
Interesting.
Fans are trying to rally.
What do you think I should do? You talking about being tired today, man? Go for a walk. Get some fresh air. We're still in lockdown here in the UK, so no shows. Hoping to be out of lockdown come July, but still streaming on our YouTube channel, including some Breaking Kayfabe watch parties with talent. Neat. So pulling back that curtain, eh? Revealing the behind the scenes a little bit during the pandemic. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's what a lot of people in the wrestling industry are interested in the most right now, so smart. And Wrestle Queendom is what I recommend you... Right, Wrestle Queendom. Yes. I'll write that down again, because it is written down around here somewhere, but it's a good chance that the piece of paper is gone semi-missing. So, Wrestle Queendom, check it out. Sami Zayn versus Charlie Morgan, main event of the show. Beautiful. Let me write that down again here, and I will try not to lose this piece of paper this time. So, Wrestle Queendom.
And I think that's changed the demeanor of Ric Flair for this U.S. title matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, as we said...
And if you guys do have some, like once we obviously get out of this pandemic, if you do have some upcoming shows or something like that that you would like to have a place to hype it up a little bit, you know, send me some promo stuff this way if you would like, and we can get that going on this channel for you. Get a semi, if you got like big events coming up sort of deal, if you want to hype up a main event, you want to get some more people watching in some way, shape, or form, we can figure something out if you'd like. I do have a business email down below if you're ever interested, and yeah, but if not, I'll definitely check out Wrestle Queendom there. Definitely check it out.
Trained hard. I know, I felt him. I've been in there with him. I know how much power he's got. Even now at this point in his career, he's got that drive to use.
Konnan, though, looks like he's locking in a side headlock here on Ric Flair. Nope, not quite a side headlock. It's almost a forearm to the face. Just trying to pin him down for the 1, 2, 3. Now Konnan with an arm drag into the side headlock again on Mr. Rick. Sounds great, EVE. Sounds great. Would love that. Stranger Danger says, I'm good, Con. Been very busy today. Very, very bored in lockdown and watching you in a bit of botchamania. Anyways, Con, how is life? Oh, life. Man, sometimes they just throw you a big old in the face, don't they? No, life is going well, to be quite honest. I'm having a good time streaming as often as I am, making content, and it's just because, you know, I'm stuck inside, and we just went into lockdown here again. Well, not just, but we've been in lockdown for a little bit at this point now in Ontario. And so, yeah, that kind of sucks, but we'll get out of it. We'll move forward. There's nothing too much else to say about that. We are doing what we're doing. Oh, no! No, you didn't just do that. I do not want to dance. I really don't want to dance. Thank you for that. Good God, the freaking Lucha House Party. The Loser House Party over here, all right? I know Kalisto just got released. I hope he lands on his feet. But damn it, Kaluser, Grand Loser Leak, and Loser Dorado, the Loser House Party are a bunch of losers. Oh, my good God. No, in all honesty, though, I hope Kalisto lands on his feet. The guy is... I hate to admit this. The guy is really talented. Okay, you guys know Conman's personal gripes with the Lucha House Party. The freaking Lucha House rules against the Revival. They ruined the Revival, my favorite tag team that ever came through the WWE. They ruined them. They ruined them. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh boy. Oh, and then Ric Flair with a big chop. There's a punch to the face, though, from Konnan. Knocks down Flair.
Go ahead, brother. Talk to him. Back him up. Don't look around now. Don't turn your back on him.
Konnan telling Flair to get back up to his feet. And now Konnan gonna send him off the ropes. Hard Irish whip. Lifts him up over his head. Man, that is a classic Ric Flair move, isn't that? The step up into the overhead press. Worked a show with Kalisto just prior to him signing with WWE. Great talent. Never really saw what he can do, though, in WWE. I saw something with Kalisto when he was in the tag team with the Lucha Dragons. I think that tag team with Sin Cara had potential. When that thing failed, I knew Kalisto was never going to be more than just kind of a guy there who could move around the ring. He seems like he can go in the ring like oh my God, Konnan fell. Oh, whoever that was, though, distracted him, pushed him off the top rope. But yeah, Kalisto, he can move in the ring. There's no doubt about that. Personally, I don't think you know this story. I truly will never forgive the Lucha House Party for those Lucha House rules against the Revival. Those freaking 3-on-1 handicap matches when it was supposed to be a 1-on-1 match, or a 3-on-2 match when it's supposed to be 2-on-2, and they just changed it at the last second. I will never, ever, ever forgive them for that. But that's the reason for the hatred behind on the Lucha House Party here on this channel. But Kalisto, you know, he's a good talent. He's a good enough talent. I think that they probably could have found something else to do with him if they thought outside of the box. Instead, they just kept putting him back into tag teams to be a lucha guy. And all right, you know, you're going to limit the character, no doubt about it, but they thought they might have been able to create something, and they just obviously weren't able to. Oh no, woman with a low blow to Konnan. And it's not hard to make mid-card baby faces either, is it? It truly isn't. You just got to commit to the character, book them solidly, and then make sure while you're booking that character solidly, somewhere else down the card, somewhere else, you're building up that heel to eventually take the title away from that baby face. And once that heel rises up, give that heel a bit of a strong run. Make them look dope. Make them look scary. Make them look good until you also start building up that baby face down here. Then build that baby face up the card to the point where they can get the pop by taking out the big bad guy in the mid-card. Rinse and repeat. Mid-card booking is so easy. At least this is coming from a guy who's never truly booked a show in his life, okay? Let's be real here. Other than the CMU that I got here on this channel, I've never truly booked a wrestling promotion. But the CMU is my attempt at one.
That hurt every man everywhere. Konnan, though, back into it.
Yeah, but not at his full
not at his
capacity.
You're exactly right. The
Oh.
complexion of this match has drastically changed. Thanks to woman. Flair has him up and down.
I was contemplating saving up a bit more for the Braun train, but I went for the instant gratification. Well, I'm glad you got your instant gratification. No Braun train for you.
2 counts. And Konnan
2, kick out by Konnan. Back to the cover. 2, kick out by Konnan. 1, 2, another kick out by Konnan.
if he can sound that good.
Got him up right here.
I'd like to see wrestlers do that a little bit more often. Go back down to the cover multiple times. Make it seem like you're desperate to win.
Year of 1996.
Not all the time, obviously, but in certain matches.
Of course, back in May 27th on Memorial Day, I saw something I never thought I'd see.
The problem with WWE is a lack of consistency in the character morals and ethics, which makes a character. The Lucha House Party Revival feud is prime example of horrible moral and ethics from babyfaces, right? That should have been a heel move. Should have been a heel move. Using the numbers game and using rules that don't make sense truly to get heat. Yeah, you're spot on there. You're spot on.
Youngsters like Joe Gomez and the Disco Inferno rising to the occasion. We've seen it all.
Oh, I also hate to say this. I'm about to say something very, 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 maybe not controversial, but definitely something within the wrestling world. I think NXT has harmed the main roster. And NXT is my favorite part of WWE, okay? But I think NXT has harmed the main roster. When you look at the people that have come in through NXT with the hype that they have had, people like Kevin Owens, people like Shinsuke Nakamura, people like Samoa Joe, people like Bobby Roode, who came in through NXT. Can you picture if those debuts would have been on the main roster? Now, I feel like that's something we're missing now, because no longer do we just get the debut, the first debut, the big Chris Jericho coming over from WCW. The last time that anything remotely like that happened was AJ Styles inside of the Royal Rumble, where the big surprise debut happened on your show, or a big built-up debut happened on your show. That hasn't gone through NXT. And the thing with NXT is it exposes the character to us. We love the character as a result. We beg for them to be called up, and when they get called up, they're not in the same position that they were at NXT. They're completely starting from scratch, and the character has to try to get all over again, except for it's something we've already seen from that character. So they got to continue to try to develop something new in order to get over again, and it's like all these characters coming from NXT have to get over twice. And I love NXT, but what I'd like to see from WWE is try to find a way when they really truly have a character who has been in the independent scene for like 12, 15 years. Let's say Eli Drake, okay? What Eli Drake is doing right now down in NXT is fun. It's fun. There's no doubt about that. Can I ask, why isn't that a thing being considered for the main roster? To add new life to the show? To add a new star? Why are we having to see it through NXT all the time first, when we could find a way to get them on the main roster, get some exposure to them, and if they're not competent, if they're not ready for the main roster, then send them down. But see what you got. Can you imagine Kevin Owens? What type of star, true star he could have been if he came in with the same hype, turned heel on the same first night inside of WWE in some way, shape, or form, they might have had a megastar. Sure, they got him over again with John Cena later on, but his debut was magical. And we don't get those debuts anymore on the main roster, it feels. The last true magical debut that I can tell, or that I can remember, was AJ Styles, right? AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, that's my personal thoughts with NXT. I think NXT is so damn good because it takes what worked on Monday Night Raw, stripped it down a little bit, put it on NXT, and then they said, okay, and now we'll add in the debuts on NXT, and we got ourselves a very exciting wrestling show. But anyways, at least we got one really good show in NXT.
Don't get emotional here, Brain. There's going to be time for that when the hostile takeover match comes, and we will be emotional. I can tell you that.
Well, we have protection here.
We have it right now. We've had it all night.
I know, but will we have protection here?
Yeah, I got 2 legs. I'm gonna run.
Well, don't yell. Look out.
And again, these are all my opinions here during the live stream, and I'm always open to hear if my opinions are wrong. Like, if you guys truly believe that I'm wrong on something, if I make a bad take, let me know and explain your side of the thing, because I want to obviously expand my wrestling knowledge. Right here, I'm not the end-all be-all. Not a chance. Not a chance. But I definitely do want to expand my knowledge when it comes to wrestling, and if I misspeak about something or if I'm talking wrong about something, whatever, call me out. Let me know. Only way I'm going to learn, right? Oh, Konnan from behind, bulldog to Ric Flair. Now into the cover. Count of 2. Kick out by Flair. If this is just tail end of Konnan being extremely over, I can understand why he was so over. I can. He looks like he's still fairly fluid in that ring.
But look at the daylight between Konnan's body and Flair's. He's got to be flat on top of him.
You're right, Brain. That's a good point, and he was not. That's 3.
Goo, goo, goo.
Guess I win the teddy bear, huh?
Irish whip off the ropes. Konnan looking for a bit of an octopus stretch. Oh, no. That's not an octopus. That's a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Konnan would have beat Ric Flair. Konnan would have beat Ric Flair. But the referee was distracted. Oh, no. By Elizabeth. Konnan up and over. Oh, chop to the chest. Konnan lifted up, slammed down on the knee of Ric Flair. Oh, no, woman with the shoe. Yeah, Konnan is down, my friends. Flair getting his feet on the ropes. Count of 2, 3, it's over. Ric Flair is the new United States champion.
Well, I can't wait to see this on slow-mo. I don't know how all 3 of them going to wear the belt.
Wow, Ric Flair, really the dirtiest player in the game, cheated his way to becoming the U.S. champion. Ric Flair. Woo! Cool. All right, so what do we have still to come? Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit versus Kevin Sullivan and the Giant. It sucks that the stuff happened with Chris Benoit, obviously, because every time that you see a match, you're like, man, I want to get really into it. But then you're constantly reminded of what that guy did to his family, and you're just like, oh, God, man. I can still remember the day I found that out. I was a kid, man. What was it, 2007? Or 2008? Something like that? Chris Benoit death. When did he die? He died 2007, yeah. So I can remember I was, so 2007, I would have been 12 years old. Just turned 12 years old. My birthday is June 4th, so I would have just turned 12 years old. And I was getting ready to watch Monday Night Raw that night. I remember the week before was when Vince McMahon's limo exploded. And I watched that part live. I was like, whoa. Vince McMahon's limo exploded at 11/12 years old, whatever it was, probably 12. I legitimately thought Vince McMahon was dead. Okay, as a 12-year-old, that's what I thought. And I didn't know what to expect. I was like, all right, I'm going to tune in next week. Why not, right? Vinnie Mac just exploded. I'm going to tune in. And then about 2 hours-ish before Raw aired, about 2 hours before, maybe 3 hours before, my mom was watching the news, and she's like, Connor, did you know about that wrestler that died? Obviously not knowing really much about this wrestler, right? She just heard that it was a wrestler in the WWE. Chris Benoit was one of my favorites at the time. And she was like, did you hear about the wrestler that died? I'm like, no, I didn't. Who died? She said Chris Benoit. This is obviously before we learned about the double murder suicide, right? Obviously, long before we learned about that, we just knew that he was no longer on this planet. And here comes Kevin Sullivan and the Giant attacking them from behind. Oh, Chris Benoit got attacked, and here we go. But so basically, I saw that unfold, and I was like, oh my God, what just happened? A wrestler died. And so then I tuned in, obviously, to Monday Night Raw that night. I was sitting down, so we had a couch, okay? We had a couch off to the side, we had a chair off to the side, and we had a TV. And it was carpeted. And it was kind of out of the way from the rest of the house. And that's where I watched all my TV growing up, and I remember I moved from the couch and sat on the floor right in front of the TV a minute before Raw started. Like, literally a minute before Raw started. And I was sitting there, cross-legged, just staring at the TV, not knowing what to expect, because literally the week before, Vince McMahon died in storyline. And then this was probably my very first moment of kayfabe being broken for me. Vince McMahon standing in the center of the ring saying this show was supposed to be for my character that died. Breaking kayfabe to me at 12 years old. And that was my eye-opening experience that, oh, this is a show, okay. And, oh, this person really died. 3 hours of memorial stuff. People, I think it was 2 hours or 3 hours, I can't remember. But it was a memorial show. For a 12-year-old me, that was one of the most eye-opening shows I'd ever witnessed, because it literally told me in the opening monologue that this show is a work, and what you're about to see is real life. This person died. And you're like, wow. Wow. So for 12-year-old me, eye-opening AF.
Boldly and brazenly predicted that they were going to go after Kevin Sullivan. That's exactly what they did. We didn't expect Mongo to help out, but then again, maybe we did. Yeah, well, he's a horseman, and that's
Hey, Jason Barker. I'm doing pretty good, buddy. Thanks for asking. How you doing, man? You getting through the day? Got lots of sleep today, or are you pretty exhausted? Hopefully you're doing well, though, buddy. Thank you so much for the 5-bomb.
Sup, y'all? How are you?
And with that, my friends, we've got ourselves a new boss, and his name is Jason Barker. Are you guys excited for NXT tonight? We're going to be back here live tonight. Oh, Jason's at a 9-time Boss Battle champion. He's closing in. He's closing in on that lead. He's only one away.
And his name is John Cena!
And his name is John Cena. I don't know much about Kevin Sullivan either. Let's take a little look at Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan, the wrestler. So he was a part of Jim Crockett Promotions. Okay. Early career. So He was in Championship Wrestling from Florida, then Jim Crockett Promotions, World Championship Wrestling to 91. Then he went Smoky Mountain Wrestling from 92 to 94. And then the Eastern Championship Wrestling. Okay. Then he went to Eastern Championship Wrestling before it was Extreme Championship Wrestling. Then he returned to WCW with the Three Faces of Fear and Dungeon Doom. So Sullivan made an appearance with the World Championship Wrestling in January and March of 94, teaming with his kayfabe brothers, Dave Sullivan, a dyslexic character who was being picked on by the Nasty Boys, at a house show and on WCW Pro and WCW Worldwide. Sullivan enlisted Cactus Jack's help and beat the Nasty Boys for the tag titles. Sullivan defeated Cactus in a loser leaves WCW match at Fall Brawl. Okay. Dave came back dressed like his idol, Hulk Hogan. This infuriated Kevin, who hated Hogan, and they started feuding. Gotcha. Kevin brought in Hogan's best friend, Ed Leslie, as the Butcher. Oh, there's apparently a Butcher in the history of pro wrestling. Interesting. To help him with his feud against Hogan. He also brought in Avalanche and called the trio the Three Faces of Fear. They feuded with Hogan, Randy Savage, and Sting in early 95. After not being able to end Hogan's career, Avalanche left the group, and Sullivan turned on the Butcher. Later in 1995, later in 1995, Sullivan began hearing the voice of someone calling for him to come and find him. Over the course of several weeks, vignettes were shot with Sullivan searching for the man who eventually became known as the Master. Once Sullivan found the Master, he was rechristened with a new gimmick, the Taskmaster. The two men immediately started putting together a new group that eventually became known as the Dungeon of Doom. In time, the group grew to include Kamala, the Barbarian, Mang, the Yeti, Hugh Morris, Loch Ness, One Man Gang, Big Bubba Rogers, and the Giant. Good God, that is a... Listen to those names again, guys. Listen to those names again. Kamala, the Barbarian, Mang, the Yeti, Hugh Morris, Loch Ness, One Man Gang, Big Bubba Rogers, and the Giant. Talk about a gimmick stable. Holy! Sullivan also brought in his former Three Faces of Fear stablemates with Avalanche Wrestling as the Shark, who is also John Tenta. And I lost my place. As the Shark, and the Butcher wrestling as the Zodiac. For a very short time, Big Van Vader was also a member, managed by Sullivan. 4 Dungeon of Doom members lost to the Hulkamaniacs in a War Games match at September's Fall Brawl. As a result, Hogan's win over Zodiac, he got to spend 5 minutes alone with Sullivan. The feud with Hogan continued for much of the remainder of the year and saw the group add Jimmy Hart as its manager after he turned on Hogan in October of 95 and cost him the WCW Heavyweight Championship in a match with the Giant. Cool. The Dungeon then feuded with the Four Horsemen, which is what we're on right here. And we're not going to read any more because I believe that will spoil the result of this matchup.
Right back there. Right back on those side of the ring again. They have pretty well pounded the Taskmaster tonight here at Bash at the Beach.
Look at the welts on his back and on his chest.
Look how Benoit kicks. And
oh yeah, the Yeti.
With more push than anyone in this sport.
Once again, right back to the corner. Good tag.
Unbroken says, in other words, a bunch of wrestlers that are scary looking and would never go on a date. I mean, I'm sure Paul White gets around. He is the Big Show after all. I mean, if any little friends out there hear about the Giant, maybe they'll be intrigued. I don't know. Taskmaster there, Kevin Sullivan. Trying to make the tag. Here comes the Big Show. The Giant is in the ring. Oh, and the Taskmaster, Arn Anderson leaves the ring. Back in the ring goes Arn Anderson. Big Show after him. There's a right hand. And now Chris Benoit's going to drag Kevin Sullivan to the outside. Wait a second. Totally did, didn't he? Chris Benoit, that's right, Nancy, woman. Nancy was dating Kevin Sullivan, wasn't she? I forgot about that. That was part of the story, wasn't it? Of Chris Benoit's backstory with how him and women got together. Kevin Sullivan and Nancy were dating. Or were they married? Nancy Benoit. She was personal life. Before her marriage, oh, she was married. Here we go. Yeah, so before her marriage to Kevin Sullivan in 1985, she had been married and divorced previously before that as well by Jim Doss. I don't know who that is. In early 1997, while married to Kevin Sullivan, she was having an extramarital affair with Chris Benoit. She and Benoit became engaged in 97 after her divorce from Sullivan, although Benoit referred to her as only his fiancée even after they were married. Interesting. She managed her husband's career from their home in Atlanta. God. What? Oh, this is BS. I didn't know about this. I did not know about this. After Nancy Benoit's death in 2007, Hustler published nude photographs of her from a shoot taken from when she was 20 years old. Are you flipping kidding? The length of the time between the events caused controversy, causing critics to claim Hustler owner Larry Flint was attempting to capitalize on the event. Capitalize. I thought I was mispronouncing that word. Capitalize on the event. The family of Nancy Benoit took legal action against Hustler. The court ruled that the photographs published neither relate to the incident of public concern, the murders, nor correspond with the time period which Benoit was rendered against her will the subject of public scrutiny. Are you what? They got away with it. They actually got away with it. Are you actually kidding? That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever read. They exploited somebody who died, who was murdered, and posted their nude photos. What? Wow, that's something else. Nancy is just, uh-oh, here comes the Big Show, also known as the Giant, and Nancy Benoit. Or sorry, Nancy gonna get out of there.
Sullivan slapping the hand away of Arn Anderson. I don't know what he was reaching out for, if that was a show of support or what, but this one's over.
Why was woman coming out and saying you're gonna hurt him? Stop kicking him. Figure that one out, brother. Brain.
Only thing I can come up with, she didn't
wow.
want him to get disqualified, suspended, or fined.
Oh, the match was already over.
I know that.
The match was already over.
Asked me real quick to come up with something. I gave you an answer.
And the Giant just gonna take Kevin Sullivan over the top rope.
I'll tell you what, he's gonna try to haul him all the way back.
My God, the Giant is strong, wasn't he?
Unbelievable.
Kevin Sullivan's hurt.
I'm gonna tell you what. You're speaking of hurt. Time is here.
Time is here. The challenge to the Horseman. Well,
Very messed up, Kakapopo. Very messed up.
We've been talking about it for so long.
Well, Sleazeball Company is going to act sleazy. I guess that's fair. Guess that's fair, but damn, man. Did I know that Paul White, a.k.a. the Giant, used to be the WCW World Champion? I did. I did. Make sure you guys also leave that like if you have not done so, okay? Leave the thumbs up right there. Let's get this to 100 likes. We're 12 away.
The biggest man in professional sports, the heavyweight champion of the world, WCW, the Giant.
The Giant gets the win.
Benoit's not done yet. He still wants to take off the head of Kevin Sullivan. Woman in there screaming to the top of her voice for Chris Benoit to stop.
Watch this, Brain. And as the Giant comes in, watch how Arn Anderson...
Big Tiger says, I think he was world champion at this pay-per-view. Let me see here. Yeah, when did he lose it? He lost it to... Yeah. The Giant, after a short feud with Loch Ness, the Giant regained the World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Flair. After Hogan formed the New World Order, he defeated the Giant for the title at Hog Wild following interference from Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Hog Wild was a pay-per-view run in '96, so he must have held onto the title for a little bit, right? But he was defeated by Hogan in a cage match at Super Brawl VI, which held place in 96. 96, February 96. This is June. So he won back the title at this point. All right, are you ready for the main event, guys? Are you ready for the biggest heel turn potentially in the history of this business? Certainly the most monumental heel turn in the history of this business. Have I figured out what other throwback live streams I'm going to do? No, I haven't, guys. Which one would we like to do next week? That's a good question. Yeah, what other pay-per-views should we do? What other throwbacks? I mean, guys, we have time to do them all. Very much. Like, I don't plan on stopping live streaming anytime soon. So, like, we've got at least a few more years of Tuesday live streams here, guys. So we're going to be able to watch a bunch. But what would you guys like to see? What would you like to see next week? Let's think before 2003, okay? Anything earlier than 2003, okay? Anything earlier than 2003. I'm interested in watching next week. Bad Blood 97. I like that idea. Bad Blood 97. That's not a bad one. Let me write that down. So Bad Blood 97. Okay. Okay. Starrcade 97. Not a bad idea. Here's the thing, though, with WCW. I think what I'm going to end up doing, guys, is I'm likely going to watch a lot of WCW TV shows when I'm on my own sort of deal and stream WCW pay-per-views that I'm at here on this channel. I think that's the way we're going to work that. So tell me some other WWE type of pay-per-views that we can watch, because we will sprinkle in WCW, but I think WCW is going to be very chronological order, or at least pretty close to chronological order. Great American Bash 2000. Okay.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Tonight here at the 1996 WCW
Great American Bash 2000.
An event like no other in the history.
Okay. Backlash 1996, the first one. Is that what that is?
Have threatened the sanctity of the WCW with a hostile takeover. A lottery has been held among the great superstars of world championship.
When did WWE Backlash begin? 1999 was their first one, not 96. 99 was the first one.
The very existence of the WCW.
Interesting. So Backlash 1999.
Damn right we are. WCW fans, are you ready?
Are you ready?
For the thousands in attendance here at ringside and the millions watching around the world.
Heroes of Wrestling. I know about that show. We'll watch it someday. I know it's really bad. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, sir, baby.
Yeah, Heroes of Wrestling. One of the poor buy rate and several controversies, most notably a disastrous main event featuring an extremely inebriated Jake Roberts, unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let me introduce
Survivor Series 98.
is to take over the WCW with force and hostility. We were told there would be 3 of these.
All right, we got 4 to choose from. There we go, guys. So the 4 that we are choosing from for next week is going to be Bad Blood 97, Great American Bash 2000, Backlash 99, or Survivor Series 1998. So we got 1 from 97, 1 from 98, one from 99 and one from 2000. We are going to get a poll going for you guys, asking you what match we should stream next week. Yo, my man, 28 Bomb, thank you. He says it's time for history to be made, the NWO. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. Thank you so much there for that 28 Bomb, Brandon. I really appreciate it, buddy. And here comes Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Oh, man, who is going to be the mystery man? I wonder who the mystery man is. Still, seriously though, guys, this is like literally one of the most important matches in wrestling history. I'm not exaggerating. The business would forever, ever be changed by this match. Legitimately, forever changed because of this heel turn at the end of the event. What should we watch next week? So Bad Blood 97.
Yeah, there you go. Gentlemen, if I could have your attention, I don't have police protection with me at this time, but I want to confront you in front of this full house here at the Ocean Center and millions of others across the country and around the world. I don't see three men here tonight. Where is your partner?
You know Scheme Gene?
Scheme Gene.
You know too much already. All you need to know, little man, is he's here and he's ready.
Oh, he's here and he's ready, guys.
Is your partner telling me that your third man is in the building?
Oh, he's here all right, Gene.
Oh, he's here all right.
Tell you something. We got enough to handle it right now, right here.
Oh, come on.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you
Come
what.
on.
They cannot handle our three guys.
Yeah, okay, let's send three out and just kick their teeth in and get it over with.
There you go.
Okay, guys. Here we go.
Did they scam us?
I don't know.
So, the mystery man is still not here. They're really pushing that back, aren't they? Really pushing the mystery man back. Working them. Working everybody. Was Bischoff in charge of this yet, guys? Does anybody know? Was Bischoff in charge of this thing yet? Or was Bischoff still not quite in charge? But get you guys votes in. Do either vote Blood 97, vote Series 98, vote Backlash 99, or vote Bash 2000 for what show we should stream next week, everybody. What show should we stream next week? He was behind the scenes? Okay. So Bischoff wasn't there at this point. Cool. Bischoff took over mid-90s. Okay. It's around in the early 90s. Okay, so he's been around for a little bit. Cool. I knew he was around. I knew he was in WCW, but I didn't know if he had taken over at this point or not. Because I know the NWO was his brainchild. It's just I didn't know whether he was the guy just behind that faction and that idea, or if he was truly over, like, running the business at this point, or running the company at this point. But Bischoff took over in 1994. Gotcha. Cool. So he'd been established for a little bit. So 94 onwards is all Bischoff's brainchild. All right. Cool.
Right here at the Ocean City and Daytona Beach. Bad intentions are starting to happen, brother.
They have said the third man is here, but he is not in the ring, which means he is either in the stands, he is still in the locker room area, or behind us.
He wasn't revealed as the leader of the NWO until November of 96, so they really did push that back. Okay, that's cool. So thank you so much, Brandon Harbin, for that 28 bomb. It's time for Sting! I tried my best. So this is Sting we're watching here with the face paint. What a young baby face, man. What a young baby face.
It's time for history to be made. NWO.
The NWO. Gonna be made here tonight, guys. Are you pumped? Are you pumped to see the formation of it? How many of you guys are actually watching this for the very first time? I've seen this match. I mean, it's a good thing I've seen this match. It's literally one of the most famous, infamous heel turns of all time, if you will. But how many of you are watching this for the very first time? I'm curious. How many people are going to experience this for the first time? Oh, Luger with a big forearm to the face and then takes out Kevin Nash. Oh, Scott Hall, though, from behind sends Luger to the outside of the ring. But Luger now getting back up. Clothesline puts him down. Sting was 37 at this time. Man, he seems... Sting doesn't age. He looks a lot younger than 37. Looks a lot young. Are you sure he was 37? How old is Sting right now? Sting is... Oh, that's the wrong Sting. The guitarist, Sting. Sting WWE. Let's try that one. 62, okay. I was going to say, that said 69 years old. I'm like, Sting ain't that old, is he? But 62. Yeah, that adds up. Wow. Still in incredible shape.
Luger's not moving a muscle. Nothing. He is out cold.
Well, what a blow he took. Boy, he's colder than a wedge. You are right about that situation right now. Now we're looking at 2-on-2 in this hostile takeover.
I can see from my vantage point right now, they've summoned everybody.
I was so pissed when Hogan turned heel at the time that I wrote WCW wanted to kick his butt. Really, Michael Wade? That's funny, dude. Oh, I love how people got really worked back in the day. Like truly, truly worked. All right, so Luger looks like he's getting brought to the back during this match. Luger looks like he's been hurt.
It was Sting who came across with the Stinger splash. Luger got crushed, and Sting took him down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you get a shot at it right here, Tony. Go ahead.
So apparently, I was actually looking this up a little bit earlier today. The third man was supposed to be, actually not even supposed to be, but the internet back in the day. Speculation, at least. I'm not even sure if it was internet per se, but definitely speculation running rampant around that this spot was actually Plan A was supposed to go to Sting. Plan A was supposed to be Sting. Plan B was Hogan, and rumors of Bret Hart getting this spot because he was frustrated with WWE at the time. This was right after his Iron Man match, right? Bret Hart, the 1 hour Iron Man match, which he lost.
I guess they're trying to take him down one at a time. Absolutely.
Right, he lost that one. Yes, Michaels pinned Bret Hart after the 1 hour time limit. Then they extended it, and then Michaels won. Right. Yeah, so there was rumors that Bret Hart was coming on over at that point. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. Can you imagine how different the business would look if they if Bret Hart chose to go to WCW at this point? Hogan likely would have been built up as the babyface to go up against the heel Bret Hart and the heel of the Outsiders. They probably would have had Hogan bury the NWO before it came up. Honestly, NWO wouldn't have been a thing. It would not have been a thing. It would have been buried before it got off the ground. And Hulk Hogan would have been to blame for that. I truly believe that. Even if it was Sting that took over and Hogan was the babyface going up against them, I think Hogan still would have politicked his way and would have got himself over the NWO. They would have used the NWO to try to get Hogan even more over. EVE, speaking from the time, so this is interesting because obviously I wasn't around, says nobody bought into that Bret Hart stuff at the time, though. There's a little bit of history rewriting going on there from someone. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Sting, Hogan, and Waltman were the people that were rumored and expected back in the day. Waltman, I guess, makes sense. Okay. Tag has been made. In comes Kevin Nash. Yep, it did need to be Hogan. Like, I don't think the NWO would have worked if it was anybody but Hogan. And obviously we're talking about, with hindsight, right? Hogan changed the business with this heel turn. And the NWO changed the business. But can you imagine, let's just say, even if those rumors about Bret Hart were a thing, okay? Let's truly think about the consequences that could have happened from that one moment. If Bret Hart had, for whatever reason, been the guy that made that jump, with even the minor rumors and the rewriting of history going on and all that. Let's say Bret Hart did make that jump. No Stone Cold Steve Austin getting over. No Shawn Michaels getting over. No Montreal Screwjob. None of that. The catalyst to WWE becoming what WWE became with the Attitude Era was almost single-handedly because of Bret Hart's experience in WWE. Almost single-handedly. Bret Hart has a lot of connections to how the Attitude Era formed. The Mr. McMahon character, the greatest heel in the history of the business. Or at least the greatest heel character in the history of the business. It's created at the hands of Bret Hart. Yeah, they made the right call with Hogan. People had been wanting to boo Hogan for years. Fair enough. So yeah, can you imagine, guys, what the history of the business would have looked like if he made that jump before 97 went down? Imagine if he made that jump to WCW before it all went down. So many what ifs, so many what could have been, so many what would have happened if this would have happened or if this would not have happened. But that's what history is. It's all about ifs and buts and all that. Oh, Sting hit hard. Sting hit hard. 97 is one of the most important years in the modern history of professional wrestling. 1000% agree with that. You know what? I'm also going to say this. I think 2020 is also going to become one of the most important years in professional wrestling history. Think about the pandemic, how much has changed with the pandemic, how WWE pay-per-views changed, how AEW changed, how the wrestling business changed with cinematic matches and all of that. Sure, cinematic matches have been around for a bit, but like 2020, I think in 5 years, 10 years time, guys, we're going to look back on it as being one of the most important years of the wrestling business. Whether it's not because it's like super successful, but because the wrestling business figured out what they had to do to try to keep moving forward. It's going to be a super important year if wrestling can bounce back from it. I believe it will. I absolutely do. But
don't get lax. Don't get easy. Don't get careless. They said there's another guy still here.
Look at the veins on Savage's neck, buddy. You think he didn't want in there?
Yeah, you look at them eyes. Yeah, you look at
yeah.
them eyes too.
That's my thought, though. You obviously never know until you get to look back and see. But I think 2020 will be an incredibly important year in terms of wrestling. I mean, that's where the Thunderdome was brought in. That's where WrestleMania was held without fans. That's where, unfortunately, Brody Lee passed away. Right? Brody Lee passed away in 2020. And AEW put on one of the greatest memorial shows ever delivered.
Last week, what they did, they are
It's insane.
of the cheap shot, of the low blow, of the gutless coward.
Thank you, Jason Barker. I appreciate that 5-bomb. Nice drop kick right to the leg, though. Yeah, Sting needs to get to the corner to tag in the Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. But thank you, Jason. And he says the following. If you think about it, The Rock wouldn't be where he is today if Austin never got his neck injured, because during that year of recuperating, that's when The Rock got over. It's incredible, literally, what one person's injury opens up for another person. And they say it's all about opportunity, right? All about opportunity. What you can get, what you can do with that opportunity. If you got 5 minutes on TV, how can you make the most of your 5 minutes? And the real good performers know how to make the most of every bit of their time to make them must see. And The Rock figured out that there was a spot available at the top without Austin, and The Rock moved himself up there. He grabbed the Nation of Domination by the balls and said, "This is now my bitch." Like, basically, that was The Rock's breakout moment when he's like, "I'm going to become a star, man."
Well versed. Tony actually came in with an offensive game plan. Not so much even an overall plan. They are trying to do what needs to be done to just
Spot on. Man, I love your takes there, EVE. I could talk wrestling with you for hours. You seem to have so much knowledge about this business. I really like what you're bringing to this chat here. Thank you for adding to this. This has been an awesome stream learning about the history of the business. I really hope to see you guys come back every single week. Whether EVE, you're more than welcome to come back every single week, but I'm talking as a whole, everybody here in this live chat. I'm so hoping to be able to see you guys continue to come back every single week, that we can just talk old school wrestling and learn about this business, because one thing that brings us all together is wrestling, and right now I think learning the business is something that will be so important to all of us. Learning where the business came from, what the matches actually were, what the important moments and what the reactions along with it were. Loving doing these. I truly am. The amount of stuff that I've learned in just these, few short weeks. We've done them for 8 weeks now or something like that. Jason Barker, my man, thank you for the 10 bomb. Let's roll it. Behold the king. The king of kings.
On your knees, dog.
Burn out. All hail and bow down to the king.
If you think about it, The Rock wouldn't be where he is today if Austin never got his neck injured, because during that year of recuperating, that's when The Rock got over.
That's an uneasy feeling. I keep saying that, but we're walking all around it. We sitting
Water and
what's
sewage
going on.
account.
But I guarantee you there's
2525 and electricity account.
A myth
Okay.
is the word. I don't even know if that
All right.
that's a hell of a word or not, but I know it is.
The fight is on the floor now. Macho Man's got a shot. That's right. Hit him.
Yeah.
Don't hold him back.
Cool. Just got some more information about the place that I'm moving to right now. I got to set up my utilities. So it looks like water and sewage and electrical, and then Enbridge for gas. Okay. So we got a few things. Got a few things I got to go through and set up here before I move, but that's good. And then I also got to get the internet all set up. So hopefully we won't miss any streams, but I will keep you guys up to date with everything, okay? I'm glad that you love it there, Michael Wade. Right hand, though, there from Scott Hall. Count of 2, kick out by Stinger.
Well, Sting is fighting not only for himself, but he's fighting for WCW.
The curtain call made Steve Austin, because if that never happened, Austin 316 would never have happened, because Triple H was made to win the King of the Ring that year, but was punished due to the curtain call. You're absolutely right, Jason Barker. Absolutely right. Yeah, it's amazing. If you really think about it, you can look at every single moment in the history of pro wrestling and say, if this didn't happen, this moment would never have happened. If you think about it even more, we can apply that same type of logic to the current age of WWE. The last time a true star was born, and a legitimate star was born, where it's like everybody collectively was behind this person, live fans, noise was there, truly a star being born, was Becky Lynch getting her nose broken. And the blood pouring down the face of Becky Lynch with her hands out to the side, standing up there at the end of Raw when SmackDown invaded Raw. That's the last time a true star was born, a true legitimate star was born. And you can't fabricate those moments. They just kind of happen. But the big thing that WWE needs to remember is that when those moments happen, lean into them. Do not let up with the push once those moments happen, because it is so difficult to get somebody over. So difficult, but once they're over, you can easily get people to stay over once they're over, but getting over is the difficult part. I would say that's the last time a true star was born, guys. It's unfortunate. But they leaned into Becky Lynch, right? They leaned into her. They pushed her towards the main event. They put 2 championships on her, and then people turned on her, sure. But Becky Lynch is a made woman. She is a made woman for the rest of her career because of that legendary year. Oh, low blow to Savage. Low blow to Savage. You say maybe The Fiend? Unfortunately, no. The Fiend is over with about half, 3/4 of the audience. Anyways, guys, we're gonna take a look here at Hulk Hogan, the third man. Hogan on his way down. Hogan. Oh my God, you guys ready? Are you ready? Hogan rips off the shirt. Are you ready for the leg drop heard around the world? Hulk Hogan staring down Scott. Whose side is he on? Whose side is he on? No! Leg drop heard around the world. Hulk Hogan just turned. Hulk Hogan just turned. Another leg drop to Savage. He is on the side of the New World Order, brother. Oh, man. What a cool turn, man. I would be losing my mind if I was watching this thing live. Look at the crowd. They are stunned, man. They're actually so stunned. Then the referee gets sent to the outside of the ring. There's a couple people, though, that are marking out. A guy in an ECW shirt marking out. Big deal. But, oh, my God. Another leg drop. The ECW guy just marking out to the cover. 2. It would have been over. No way. Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash, man. Holy moly. What a turn. What a turn. This angle also turned Bobby Heenan face. I didn't know that. Bruv, I thought I had something cooking in the oven. Timer went off. I had never put it in the oven in the first place. Oh, that sucks. Now that's too sweet. Oh, the crowd starts throwing their trash. This and, was it Bully Ray with, in TNA. That moment when Bully Ray was inside the cage. Aces and Eights, I believe. Is that the name of the faction that was created? With all the trash being thrown in there. Very similar. Look, if you guys are watching along, this is incredible. They're throwing trash in the ring. The Heat. Oh my God, that thing was. Holy crap, Mean Gene, dude. Be careful.
Gene, I don't know what you think of this, my man, but this has to be the absolute worst moment in my broadcasting career, and we're all witnessing it. Look at Okerlund. He looks like he's gonna.
Okerlund.
Go ahead, Gene.
I'm turning it up for you guys.
Hogan. Excuse me. Excuse me.
So you can hear this.
What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
Heel Hogan, man. Heel Hogan. I also love Scott Hall just going like this in the background.
For you to join up with the likes of these two men absolutely makes me sick to my stomach.
Heel Hogan, this is so good.
And I think that these people here and a lot of other people around the world have had just about enough of this man, and you want to put yourself in this group, you've got to be
trash raining down.
me.
Well, the first thing you gotta realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother.
The New World Order of Wrestling, brother.
Right here came from a great big organization up north, and everybody was wondering who the third man was. Well, who knows more about that organization than me, brother?
Wow.
I've been there, I've done that. You have made the wrong decision, in my opinion.
Well, let me tell you something.
Mean Gene was so good too, guys.
A monster. I made people rich up there. I made the people that ran that organization rich up there, brother. And when it all came to pass, the name Hulk Hogan, the man Hulk Hogan, got bigger than the whole organization, brother.
Wow.
And then billionaire Ted, amigo, he wanted to talk turkey with Hulk Hogan. Well, billionaire Ted promised me movies, brother. Billionaire Ted.
The trash raining down still.
And billionaire Ted promised me world caliber matches. And as far as billionaire Ted goes, Eric Bischoff and the whole WCW goes, I'm bored, brother. That's why these two guys here, the so-called outsiders, these are the men I want as my friends. They're the new blood of professional wrestling, brother. And not only are we gonna take over,
man, Hogan leaned into his heel voice, didn't he?
With Hulk Hogan and the new blood, the monsters with me, we will destroy everything in our path, Mean Gene.
Damn.
All of this crap
What a turn. Seriously, what a turn.
If you want to hang around the likes of this man Hall and this man Nash.
As far as I'm concerned, all of this crap in the ring represents these fans out here.
Nice one.
For 2
Nice
years,
one. Woo.
For 2 years, I held my head high. I did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. And the reception I got when I came out here, you fans can stick it, brother.
You fans can stick it, brother. One of the most infamous lines in pro wrestling history.
Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff would be still selling meat from a truck in Minneapolis. And if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, all these Johnny-come-latelys that you see out here, wrestling wouldn't be here. I was selling out the world, brother, while they were bumming gas to put in their car to get to high school. So the way it is now, brother, with Hulk Hogan and the New World Organization of Wrestling, brother, me and the new blood by my side, what you gonna do when the New World Organization runs wild on you? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, guys? Look at the trash. The trash raining down. What a heel turn. What a heel turn, man.
I don't know. I'm Tony Schiavone. Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
I'm Tony Schiavone. Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. Dear Lord, that was good. That's the greatest heel turn in the professional wrestling history, isn't it, guys? At least certainly the most memorable. I don't know how you make a more memorable heel turn than that. Truly. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was so good. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for us here for this live stream, but we will be back in a little over 3 hours with NXT tonight. But until then, everybody, take care. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. We'll be back once again, like I said, with NXT at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, take care. Thank you for watching. EVE, it was wonderful talking to you. Keep up the awesome stuff over there. I can't wait to check out Wrestle Queendom. And guys, I think you should as well. Check it out, Wrestle Queendom on YouTube from EVE, Riot Girls of Wrestling. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, we'll see you tonight for NXT. But until then, take care. I've been Konnan, and that was WCW Bash at the Beach.